Welcome, everybody, to a very special Tuesday episode of The First Step here on GDQ Hotfix. Before we get started with anything else, I wanted to say that this stream is actually sponsored. That's right, your boys got sponsored. This is a sponsored episode. This is sponsored by Frontier. So thank you, Frontier, for providing us with this game and with advanced copies of Far Changing Tides, because we're going to be playing that later, the sequel to Far Lone Sails, which we'll be starting off with first here. So my name is JHobz. I'm joined, as always, by Keizaron, but nobody cares about him or me today because we are also joined by two very special guests of ours from the Monterey Bay Aquarium. We have Emily and Patrick. How are you all doing?
Hey,
fantastic. Let's go.
Yeah.
Already, fantastic.
We're back.
We need to clarify that we cared that we're here with you. We want to see all of the amazing shenanigans that you'll be getting up to here during this stream. So we're so happy to be here with you all once again.
Yeah,
it's always a fantastic time anytime that we get to hang out with GDQ and with you two. So we're stoked.
Yeah, we're excited to have you on. I wanted to be clear real quick for everybody that Frontier's not affiliated with Monterey Bay Aquarium or anything. We just thought this would be really fun because the second game has big ocean themes to it and everything. So we just thought this would be fun. But if you do want to support the Monterey Bay Aquarium, because they do accept donations, things have been a little bit tougher over the last couple of years for a public, place, as you can imagine, then you can use the ! donate link or command in chat rather to get a link to the page and some more information and everything. But yeah, we're gonna be playing Far Lone Sails here today. Keys, what do you think of this game when we started this one?
So this game threw me for a loop in a good way. It did not go anywhere close to how I expected it to. It was very I'm trying to think of it kind of reminded me of playing Journey almost. It was really chill. It was smooth. There were obviously some parts that got really hectic, but it left me with a lot of questions, which I'm hoping get solved with the sequel that we're going to be playing today. And I mean questions in a good way. It made me think about the game a lot and kind of wondering why the atmosphere is the way that it is and why it's so post-apocalyptic and why the hell my boat keeps breaking.
Yeah, and I'm actually curious, Pat and Emily, I'm guessing, do you either of you know anything about this game or the sequel?
Very little. I'm familiar-ish with it, and I know some of Frontier's other titles, but this is our first, or at least my first chance seeing the whole thing played all the way through. So
and in the spirit of what you both get up to, I've tried to actually not look into anything before, so I'm reacting live to everything that's going on. So I don't even know what kind of a game this is, but I'm very familiar with near coupled engines, but not Far Lone Sails. So it's a completely different title than I'm used to playing with. So,
all right then.
So, yeah, stepping out of my comfort zone at least.
Well, real quick, I'll explain what TFS is for anybody who hasn't seen the show before, because maybe you only watch on Tuesdays. We're not usually on Tuesdays. The First Step is a show where we want to show all of you out there how easy it can be to get into speedrunning in super low effort ways. You don't have to spend hundreds of hours grinding for frame perfect tricks and stuff just to be able to get started with speedrunning. All it really takes is playing a game and then trying to play it a little bit faster, and then try to play it a little bit faster, and so on and so on. So Keys and I have both played this game one time, and we're going to be racing now to see who can complete it faster on our second playthrough here without either of us... Oh, apologies with my microphone there. Without either of us knowing anything about the speedrun. We don't know anything about it other than where time begins and ends. So why don't we get kicked off with this one so we can get going? Keys, if you want to give us the countdown, I guess we'll just start at new game. I think time starts when you start moving, but for our purposes, we could probably just start at the game here.
All right, well, we will start. I am over new game if you are.
Yep.
And we'll start in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
In true TFS tradition.
I knew there probably would be too, but so yeah, Far Lone Sails. This is a fun game. It's I don't know what the genre is technically called, but I kind of kept referring to it as a resource management game in a way where you're always having to stay on top of something.
So it's sort of like a simulation of real life then. It's just resource management.
Yes, definitely.
Because the whole post-apocalyptic scene that you were mentioning before could have something to do with how good we are at managing our own resources. But maybe that's a little bit too early in the speedrun to get so existential.
Yeah, I don't know. I somehow messed up already. Like just grabbing the first thing.
Well, apparently, with the way that we started the game, my controller is in permanent vibration mode.
Oh, no.
It has not stopped, and I'm concerned.
Hopefully it'll stop like the first time the game tries to do a vibration.
I hope so.
I see we both came to the same conclusion about about the fastest way to move in this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's faster going down slopes or when it's like level, but it definitely is faster if there's a hill.
I'm pretty confident it's faster on flat ground.
Yeah.
You seem to kind of just do a little lurch forward.
Mm-hmm.
I'm disappointed that none of you had anything to say about our first encounter with water in the whole game, but
I was going to. I was like, I'm just gonna wait and see if one of those.
There it is. They're just hopping right over it.
We've done it.
Oh man, that's okay. There won't be any more of it. Surely, there's nothing happening.
Surely.
Oh yeah, surely. My mistake. I'm sorry. All right. So this is basically going to be the area that we're in the whole game, or most of the game, is going to be just in this little vehicle. And while we're in this vehicle, we're trying to constantly keep it moving forward. There are things like this little button over here that controls the engine, and it always wants to kind of push back out. There's also like steam that we have to vent that builds up over time. So we want to be just constantly moving, and I've got some other things that I'm doing at the same time, but I don't know if Keys is or not.
Well, I did some stuff. I'm going to admit something, though. I did find out, because I wanted to look up more about the game, I did find out there's an achievement that involves that mailbox at the beginning, so I am not going to burn it like I planned, and I am instead taking it to the promised land with me.
I'm burning it right now. I also saw that achievement too, but I was like, nope, I'm burning it.
I gotta do it for the people, Hobbs.
Similar to humanity's relationship with fossil fuels. Nope, I'm burning it.
No.
But yeah, basically, you can burn pretty much anything you can pick up in this game for energy, and that includes these boxes that are on the ground right here. I'm gonna try to pick some of these up.
Oh heck!
I think you're probably supposed to run out of fuel here normally, and so okay, there we go. I probably should have gotten more of those, but I didn't. I wanted to try to not stop moving. So
there's one that I couldn't pick up, and I'm not gonna stop.
I didn't get 3 of them, Keys. I only got 1 out of the 4 that were there.
Okay, that's your mistake to make.
I'm gonna hope that that's enough.
Oh my goodness.
Right now, we don't have too much that we have to coordinate with this vehicle, but eventually there will be more things going on that we have to worry about. Oh, go.
This is really fascinating just from a non-gamer in terms of the game design of this, the music, the scenery and everything. These are the types of games that I feel like I don't get to interact with too much just on my own, not really knowing, too many of these new releases. So this is really cool to see this style.
Yeah, it's it's an interesting game. I think it's one that's kind of hard to tell what it is when you like watch a trailer or like videos for it and stuff. But it's super neat. I keep just trying to get like a little bit of fuel at a time. I want to ideally never run completely out because then it'll stop the engine.
Are you able to store any reserves in there
Yes.
for long periods of time? Okay.
Yeah, you can. So, I keep not like seeing things early enough to get them. All right, it's going uphill, so I'm going to try to grab some resources. Okay, I might be stalled for a little bit. That's fine.
That's fascinating. I was going to mention just if we're trying to get some ocean interpretation in here as far as resource management, that's something that a lot of animals really have to deal with. And one of the things that is really interesting to think about is how it is that animals are able to basically energetically finance their big migrations. So right now, you two, Keys and Hobbs, you're trying to get across this landscape, but you can think about like a great white shark is trying to do the same thing. And I'm wondering if anybody in the chat happens to know where a great white stores its energy for its long travels, if anyone has any clues as to what's going on.
I'm rolling backwards.
Yeah, I was too. I'm trying to think if
yeah, do you know where a white shark stores its food?
I'm trying to think. I don't know.
It's not like it's gills.
That's where my mind went to, Keys.
No,
I was like,
okay,
that can't be it. There's
yeah,
no way.
like I figured it wasn't, but that was like the only thing coming.
See,
to
we're
mind.
dumb.
No. To give you a hint, it's something that a predator of a great white shark may be known to go after.
Like,
do you know what predator eats a great white?
Someone in the chat's got it.
Don't orcas eat them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are the orcas going for? If you were to try to eat a great white shark, what would you be popping open to feast?
like I would have thought it's the like under. I don't know what the correct term for it is, but like underbelly, basically. But...
It is in the underbelly.
Okay.
I'll give you one more hint. If you get hit here very hard, say in boxing or in MMA, it can cause a technical knockout. So you can get TKO'd, or you can get knocked out and not able to fight anymore if you hit there really hard.
Keys, this is on you.
See, now I'm.
You're asking the wrong person. I'm
People
not an
came
anatomy
here-
guy.
Yeah, people came here for ocean chat. Now we're learning MMA.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, no, I think you're learning self-defense. Everybody out there, make sure to protect your liver because in fights, if you get a body shot, often so your liver is your poison filter on your body, and so when you get hit there very hard, you can actually have a systemic shock of basically punching all of the bad that's in your liver back out into your system. But that's beside the point. The original point is, so on your particular venture here of trying to have a whole bunch of energy locked away, white sharks have it in their liver. And so you can often see really interesting photos of sharks that have eaten a huge amount of food and they're super, super fat. And that fat is stored in the liver. And we've done research at the aquarium where if you track a white shark swimming from the coast of California out to Hawaii, typically when you're going on long ocean journeys, we got some sails over there on Keys. So when you're setting sail as a white shark out to the White Shark Cafe and to Hawaii, usually when you're on these open ocean voyages, a lot of animals do this, whales and sharks and elephant seals. You kind of rest as you sink. You kind of dive at an angle, and so you're kind of asleep as you descend in the ocean, then you wake up and kind of swim up, and then you fall asleep again or just relax and kind of drift back down. And as they consume the energy in their liver, the angle of how fast they're sinking goes way up, the less buoyant they become and the more fat they've used. So as they swim out to Hawaii, you'll see the dive graphs of these white sharks being very smooth, very up and down, no problem. Then as they return home, it's very jagged, up and down, like shark teeth, basically, because they're just sinking like a rock because they don't have those fat stores anymore. Which is then why when they come to the coast here, they're really looking for elephant seal blubber to feast on, to build up their liver again, their fat stores. So anyway, that's the analogy I could come up with what you're doing right now, is trying to maintain your own personal liver there as the white shark setting sail across the sea.
Yeah, it works for me.
It's funny that you're mentioning sharks because now I'm looking at the vehicle that we're in, and it kind of reminds me of like the front half reminds me of a whale shape almost.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
like
a little
giant
bit.
whale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with the eye there, and it's
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, so whales will store their energy obviously in blubber, but some folks out there might not know that whales can have, I think, almost a foot or more of blubber all around their body when they're done feeding in their feeding ranges, and then survive off of those fat stores for a long time. Feeding their calves often 40% milk fat milk, like cottage cheese.
Yeah.
They're feeding there.
one way of putting it. All right.
That's how you have a whale of a good time as a young.
Oh no! I
young
failed the
Hobbs,
jump.
Hobbs, we did the same thing.
Did we really?
Saw it both at the same time.
Oh wait! I remembered. At least I think I remember.
Are we doing the same thing, man?
Nope, this isn't it.
Well, I'm putting my sails back up then.
What?
What were we supposed to do?
Uh-oh. Did we both forget? Oh no.
Wait, don't worry. If one of us figures it out, we'll tell, right? Oh, left, Hobbs, left. There's stairs.
Oh, I forgot.
In the spirit of friendship.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Manic Ascendant in the chat is absolutely the pun MVP so far. That.
I got a bell.
Yeah, I don't know if we need this bell, but I also went and got the bell because it's fuel. So we got a sail, obviously, as was mentioned before, and that just gives us like another thing to kind of have to focus on while we're trying to constantly be moving forward. As you might imagine, for the purposes of speedrunning, we want to just always be moving forward in this vehicle. Like as long as we could be doing that, we're at least somewhat making progress. And we also need to try to, like, whenever we're not having to do a thing in a specific moment, we want to try to make sure we're accomplishing the goal of like making sure that we can move forward faster or like better later.
There's one part where we really have to be like all over the place, and it was so stressful, but it was also probably the coolest part of the game to me.
There's I have no reserves for my fuel run. Oh wait, no, I do have. Hold on. Yeah, we've got lumber.
I used a share.
We got kindlings. Kindling.
I mean, lumber is also an apt descriptor of what you both are doing, so that works out. Just lumbering along. Hey, Emily.
Hey, Pat.
I think we should tell the chat an ocean animal that sails. Do you feel like sharing about an ocean animal that sails?
Ooh. Well, I know that there's like one of our favorite ones is Valela.
Oh, that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So you got Valelas, which are these adorable little gelatinous critters that will float on top of the ocean with big top. You can't really call it a fin, but it's a sail. Yeah,
It's a sail.
And it's being pushed around by the wind. Oftentimes we'll get like big strandings of them up on the beaches here around the Monterey area. And the best part is that you can remember Valelas because they are eaten by molas.
Yes.
So you have mola, sweet Valela. Right there.
I was gonna say, like, I have learned now about two different
it sounds like
aquatic
a Ricky Martin
creatures
song to me right now. So far.
Yeah. Two different creatures that just repeat their name twice.
Yeah, it's just
It's like a Pokemon or something.
Yeah.
Just going Pika Pika.
There's a Lola Mola, which are, yeah.
Or that too.
or it should be mola.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, Valela are really
sailors.
Yeah, by the wind sailors. They're such a cool type. They're basically a jellyfish mothership that is floating around on the sea surface, and they're considered, I believe they're called Neuston, which is a type of plankton.
Do they have a problem?
I was
Sorry.
about to say that.
That's what they say to each other when they get washed ashore.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Okay, so this won't
they're
work.
very good students of Newtonian physics. So they sail about on the sea surface. So there are a lot of different animals that live right there at that ocean surface interface. And one of their predators as well, besides the mola, is a tiny little nudibranch called the blue dragon nudibranch. You've probably seen it.
Yeah.
It floats upside down on the ocean surface with its belly up, and its belly is bright blue to help protect it from UV rays. So it's basically a little bit of sunscreen that they have on their belly. And those nudibranchs, a sea slug, they'll eat Valela. They'll also eat blue buttons, which are another type of hydrozoan jellyfish, and then also the very famous Portuguese man-o-war that some of you folks out there may have seen, and they have a very famous sail that sits up there on the surface. Fun thing about Vilela is that they have left-handed sails and right-handed sails, and so the ones that wash up on our beach are all one-sided, pretty much, because the predominant winds blow half the population onto shore and the other half away from shore, and vice versa in other parts of the world where the predominant winds are different directions. So they're super, super cool animals, and I think if somebody wants to make some DLC for this game and just make a skin for this whole thing and making it look like a Vilela, that'd be an epic endeavor that I would appreciate.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe we'll see it in the next game.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah. We'll find
We'll find out because, to remind folks like what's going on, we're playing Far Lone Sails, but because Frontier sponsored this episode of the First Step, we're going to be also taking an early look at their upcoming sequel to the game, Far Changing Tides, which releases on March 1st. So we're actually getting it like pretty early, which is super neat.
The sequel. Yeah.
Yeah,
and I
definitely did that intentionally.
And I believe the song that would go along with all of this stuff would be A Whale Notion Sail, of course.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Not A Whale Nation, it's actually like a cover band. A Whale.
Right, A Whale Notion.
A Whale Nation.
A Whale Notion.
Notion. Yeah, that's right.
Sail. Oh, stormy seas.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it gets pretty dark.
Moving along real slowly now.
Well,
all right, hold on. I'm gonna go. I got the strats here. I got the strats. We're gonna pull it. We're gonna pull it. Come on. I have no idea if I'm helping, and the engine probably stopped. So I did it for the people.
The content.
Yeah, so unfortunately right now
everything is horrible.
our engine has been basically fried for a while. I don't know if it's just random when it like won't let me press it in or not like that. But our engine's been fried for a while. It's just we don't have the means to repair it yet. So it's, I guess fried isn't the right word, but it is definitely not working as efficiently as we would hope.
Efficiently.
Yes, efficiently.
I just noticed that stop sign says "Don't stop." There's like, please go. It's not safe.
Keep it moving. It's very similar to a sardine. Never stops.
I'm trying so hard to like not stop that often for reserves, but then I notice that I'm out of reserves. So.
Yeah, I am basically never. Oh no! I didn't put the fuel in. Running out of fuel sucks because your engine will just immediately stop.
That's the exact same. Whoa.
Well.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Lightning strike. I'm assuming that wasn't random, but it hasn't happened to Keys yet, and he was ahead of me. So.
Yeah, I did kind of slow down a little bit. So.
Now I'm guessing. Maybe it like randomly happens along this path.
Oh, there it is.
There it goes.
Okay.
This happened.
So maybe I passed you. I didn't stop for the fuel that
I sure
that
did.
showed up along the way. So. Yeah, and our sail we can't put back up.
Man,
just like straight up.
You both got shocked like an electric eel right there.
Yeah.
Which we have electric torpedo rays in the Monterey Bay. As I don't know if you're familiar with torpedo rays, but they have muscles that are arranged in vertical stacks that allow them to build up this really powerful electrical gradients that they can zap on their food. And we have them out here in the bay. In fact, one time I was out diving, going down to check the anchor, very similar to this circumstance where everybody has a particular job to do on the ship. And my job was to go make sure that the anchor was where it needed to be. And as I'm descending, I realize that none of my buddies are following me. And I turn around, I look back up, and then they're slowly descending, kind of looking at me strange. And I must be fine. Did the whole dive, get back on the boat, and they go, Patrick, did you not see the torpedo ray swim right above your head? And I was like, what? Because I was just focused, like, I have a job, I'm going to the bottom, I'm checking the anchor, and I went right past it, and it swam. And so they spent like 2-3 minutes on the surface taking a photo of this torpedo ray that was just doing its little thing, just swimming on by as a massive potential for electrocution.
Jeez.
Yeah, they are awesome animals. I'm sorry, I think I interrupted something you were gonna say before.
If so, I don't remember what it was. So
it wasn't as cool as what you said. So
must not have been important.
Yeah, they're really amped up by all this electric torpedo right now.
Oh, nice. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I actually do remember now. I was gonna ask if you knew how much, like, you know, voltage or wattage or anything like that about what the rays can potentially put out.
I don't know. I'll look it up real quick though. It's sizable, and it's enough that have been potentially responsible for a few mysterious diver and free diver deaths that have happened like over a long period of time, where people have found people that seem to not have any other issues with them. Yeah, shock by a torpedo ray could be enough to cause some problems, especially if you're underwater.
Yeah, I just looked it up, and electric rays 8 to 220 volts, depending on the species.
Jeez.
So, yeah.
Wow.
That's enough to power your washing machine for like.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 220. That's the U.S. Grid, right?
Oh my goodness! Electricity puns make me sick in the chat. That's so great.
But I've heard some real jewels.
Oh man, well. It seems like electricity puns are not meeting any resistance in this series. Sorry, we're just going to keep going on the shocking puns in parallel to what you guys are doing.
That is fine.
What is going on?
I'm going to take a little bit of time loss from you because I'm grabbing some of this fuel back here.
I went and grabbed some of it. I wanted to be a little bit careful on this one.
I missed one. No.
Okay, so now we have access to the welder, is what I'm calling it. I don't know what it's actually technically doing, but I think we're welding things until they're fixed. And
I'd say you're weld on your way.
Yeah, we are. And so that'll let us actually like repair things as they take damage, which a lot of things will take damage when we kind of crash into stuff, which seems to just be part of what they expect to happen in this.
What is happening? Oh, I'm crushing myself with my barrels.
Oh, we can barely believe it.
No, no.
I know it's a different game, but do a barrel.
Okay, gotta quickly get efficiency. I'll do the half one first.
I'm just excited to have my sails back.
I mean, that's every holiday day as well. It feels the same way as you do. Memorial Day, Labor Day, just glad to have my sails back. Anyways.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. I mean, we just got done with President's Day. That's basically all it's for, right? At this point. Yeah, so I guess we didn't talk about like the fuel management as much before, but basically you can get a lot of things will pretty much anything like that you pick up can be burned, and I did mention that, but some of the items are going to be more efficient than others. Like, oh no, get away. Okay, well, I'm going to have to chase my vehicle down for a little bit now. It's okay because it was going to stop here anyways. But yeah, so these barrels will actually completely fill the fuel tank, whereas the boxes or just like other items will generally only fill it halfway.
Gotcha.
So I'm trying to keep the barrels whenever possible.
Well, speaking of barrels, since it's so dark right now, and actually the color of your fuel tank is very reminiscent of the fish known as the barrel eye, which you folks may or may not be familiar with. Barrel eyes are a really awesome fish that live in the deep sea. They look like all the video, it seems like they're many, many feet long, but they're actually about 6 inches. at most. Very, very small animals, but they have filters over their eyes that allow them to filter out downwelling light and see the bioluminescent light of food or other things that are above them that have caught food. And their eyes are covered by a clear sheath that allows them to look through this little bubble dome and keep their eyes protected for when they swim up and steal food from siphonophores. We talked earlier about the Portuguese man-of-war. That's a type of siphonophore. They are related to jellyfish and they sting. And so these animals have a clear shield over their eyes that looked very similar to how that eye looked just then.
Yeah, that's cool. Are they all? You said they're similar color. Are they also luminescent, kind of like the fuel is here, or are they just more?
They're not
luminous, not luminescent.
They're not quite luminescent, but when we light them up with our ROV lights, remotely operated vehicle lights, the eyes do tend to shine a little bit more. There's a few animals in the deep sea, like the strawberry squid, that also have these greenish filters over their eyes that help to basically knock out downwelling light so they can see bioluminescent light signatures a little bit better. Kind of like how if you put on polarized sunglasses, now you can kind of look through the water. It's not as glary. So not exactly the same principle, but they're knocking out other things around them. So anyway, just the aesthetics of that green orb there in the darkness is something that some animals might recognize in the barrel eye. And that was just my very heavy-handed segue into marine biology from the word barrel. Thanks, everybody.
Well, it's fine because I'm impressed at how many segues you've all already been able to make to marine biology while most of this has been taking place in a desert.
Oh, no worries. I mean, Emily, do you feel like talking about the desert plains in the ocean or other places, quote unquote, that are deserts in the sea?
I mean, there's so much to talk about desert plains. I mean,
it is kind of fun how like, and please continue in a second, but just I noticed in the background there the sand that's kind of wet. It almost looks like waves at times in the desert when you've got, I guess some of this is kind of like tilled grass or tilled like soil or something, but it's weird how it can kind of look wave like. There's actually
you've got some muskox running by there.
But Emily, please go on with what you were going to say about the
I got distracted by our actual animal friends on the screen there. We were talking about desert plains, abyssal plains. They are like these big they're plains at the bottom of the ocean. Oh no.
Oh, Emily, you there?
Oh no. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
We might have lost Emily briefly.
Uh-oh. See, I keep telling you, sorry, Keys and Hobbs, I keep telling Emily she needs to uninstall the eject button that she has on her desk. It's caused a few issues. All right, well, if Emily's not there, I'll talk a little bit about the Abyssal Plains. Yeah, so much of the ocean, so the average depth of the world ocean is about 2.2 miles, about 4.5 kilometers deep. So extremely deep areas, and a lot of it are these abyssal plains that are these mucky, oozy, very little going on areas out there that are very poorly understood, not often observed by people. But on the abyssal plains, they rely on a lot of surface productivity to feed them maybe once or twice a year. So you'll have huge blooms of what's known as a salp. For those of you who are unfamiliar, salp are a filter feeding animal that are actually closely related to people as far as invertebrates go. They are chordates, so when they're larvae, they have a notochord, as it's called, which is kind of like what our spinal column is. And those salps can bloom by the bajillions. I know that's very scientific, but then when they die, they sink to the seafloor, and animals will then digest them, pull them into the muck, and they eat a couple of times a year in those areas potentially, or they just wait for those big explosions of food. So kind of like imagine you go most of your time like waiting for food, and then all of a sudden In-N-Out opens up in your apartment, you eat everything that's there, then it shuts down for a year, and then, okay, that was good, and then you try to survive off of that the rest of the time. And that was a very California-specific reference. I apologize.
Yeah, I was gonna say, make it a Five Guys, and I'm down. That sounds great.
Emily, you're back. What happened? I keep telling them not. I keep telling you to uninstall your eject button right there next to your to your mouse.
My bad. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yeah,
Hey,
we
we did it. In true streaming fashion, Trooper got a little bit too excited and decided to unplug stuff. By my computer, so.
Oh, that's great. I mean, not super great, but you know, it's funny.
That's funny. Some folks are mentioning that the steam that comes off of the ship also kind of looks like a whale. I'm sure that was very, very purposeful design.
Yeah, naturally.
Make it look like a lot like.
Okay.
Another thing, just thinking about whales and marine mammals and sails, there is something that people will see if they come to the Monterey Bay or kind of anywhere where there's a pinniped rookery. Pinnipeds being the feather-footed marine mammals like seals and sea lions. If you come to Monterey Bay when it's really cold, there are times when you'll see sea lions in the water. If the sun comes out, they'll be on the surface, sticking out their front flippers into the sun because they're black in coloration. And so if you get so what they'll do is they'll flush those with blood to warm up in the sun, and then likewise if they need to cool down, they can put their fin up into the air and just allow it themselves to cool down from the breeze or from a little bit of the wind out of the water. So every once in a while, if you come to the bay, especially if you're over by the breakwater, by the wharf in Monterey Bay, you'll see a bunch of sea lions with their fins sticking up out of the water, and what they're doing is just warming up and cooling down. It looks like they've got their sails up there. So I know that there's no heating or cooling going on for you two, but
I mean, there was a fire I just put out. That's pretty warm.
That's nice. We're putting out a lot of fires on stream today.
Yeah.
Hobbs, I ran out of fuel, so it made everything so slow.
Yeah, I ran out briefly. I think I managed it pretty well, but I had to use the explosive. So they were kind of tutorializing back there that there is a certain fuel source that will actually damage your vehicle here, but it will give you like pretty much an entire tank. Oh, and I'm gonna run out again here. I'm really hoping that there's more nearby.
I need you to run out for a while because I fell very far behind.
I'm out. I didn't see if I ran. Oh, I had some in reserve. Yes.
No. Oh, but you're going backwards.
I'm rolling backwards. No. Speedrunner's worst nightmare.
Darn you, physics.
Backwards. Actually, Speedrunner's worst nightmare. The direction left. Like that's just never good. I want this radio to make noise because I'm gonna burn it, but there's an achievement if it's making music when I burn it.
So speedrunners are not ambi-turners out of pride.
Or not? Sorry, say it again.
You're not ambi-turners out of pride. You never turn left because it would mean failure.
No,
Very
yeah.
Similar to Zoolander.
I mean, a left turn is not the right turn, so you know.
That's true. Yeah. Do you know how you know when you're looking at shorebirds and seabirds generally? Do you know how you know when you've spotted a right turn?
When you spot 3 left turns in a row first.
There you go. You're learning after many years.
I feel like I don't know if I pieced that together or if you told us that joke last time and I just remembered it somewhere in the back of my mind.
I think people forget between the streams that there's a lot of recycling of content. It's very important to recycle, generally speaking, in terms of ocean conservation. But yeah, jokes are definitely always funny to us.
Oh,
There's
no.
always somebody who's heard it for the first time.
Yes, there's fuel right here, which is perfect because this thing's about to roll backwards. Please, did it crest the hill? Did I really get that lucky? Oh, I think it did. That's incredible. Okay, but I need the actual fuel and not just all of the other garbage that I was gonna. All right, here's where I come up with some strategies of throwing chairs and so that I could turn around. Oh no, it rolled so much further than I expected.
Run!
There was enough wind, I guess. All right, Keys, here's where you catch up.
Oh, I hope so. I'm saving my explosion for when I'm almost out.
Yeah, that's good. You won't have to spend as much time repairing then.
I had a question for the speedrunner aspect of this particular game. Are there particular mechanics that you start recognizing in a game where, something like you do this and then this thing happens and then this thing occurs where you're like, there is likely to be a glitch in that particular instance, or there's likely to be some kind of skip in that instance?
Yeah.
Or like what are some of the key tells you start seeing in a game?
That can happen. It's kind of like if you just kind of see like common patterns in multiple games and whatnot, right? You might like see something that is that ends up following like a similar pattern to something you've seen before. I'm gonna put out the fire before I move on, so that'd probably be smart. But sometimes like sometimes it pans out, sometimes it doesn't. And for example, in this game, there's a point later where I remember I was trying to like stand on the very front edge of something to get it to like press down multiple, like I needed to jump on something, I think, like over and over. And so I tried to stand on the very front edge of it to see if I could trick the game into being like, oh, you're falling over, like, or you're landing on it over and over. And unfortunately, I was not able to trick the game to do that.
Oh, no.
But that would have like saved me time, right? Because I wouldn't have had to do a full jump and then land. It would have been able to just rapidly press it.
And there's
stuff like that.
There's some
sometimes.
engineer watching your stream that's just like, that's right, I knew you'd try that, and I fixed it.
Yep, probably.
Oh, that's cool.
Oops. But there's a lot of other stuff too, like
My boat, ship, car. Where are you?
Gerald,
Run!
Wait, I think did you get past me?
Somehow.
Yeah, I guess my. What am I-
Well,
do I still
if
need to be doing
your
this? I don't
vehicle's
think I
still there, you'll catch
did.
up. Don't worry. Where are you?
Well, it's fine. I have to keep running on this hamster wheel. I'm not sure if I even had to in the first place, but now I do, because I blocked my exit.
You butt. Oh, my car is on fire and everything still too.
Oh,
Oh
no.
my God! It's
Oh my
horrible.
Whoa, it's worse.
Oh, everything's on
No.
fire for you. Oh, jeez.
That is what
Oh
your
no,
face
mine
feels
rolled
like
away too.
when you get stung by a jelly. Definitely a similar feeling.
I'm really hoping that the fuel that I had, like, put on that ramp to fall down onto the vehicle is actually still on the top of it. That'd be incredible.
Oh, Sam's-
The question about glitches though is fun because you'd be shocked at just how many glitches in speedrunning that are useful for speedrunning are actually found by people playing the game casually. They just run into a weird scenario and then like somebody sees it and they're like, oh, that could actually be really useful for us. But there are definitely things where like a common thing in a lot of games is to be able to clip through a wall by grabbing an object, and if it like pushes you slightly when you let go of that object, then you can probably use that push to clip you through a wall.
Gotcha. We have some folks in the chat, and by folks I mean Susan is in the chat.
Hey,
Hey.
Susan.
Susan's there.
I'm
So
sorry
you
this
folks-
game has no birds. At least I don't think.
There
So
were
you-
there were birds.
There were
there?
a few.
I couldn't
we,
even
we talked over
see
the
'em.
birds, so we missed our gull talk there, but there were some gulls in the game. So not a lack of birds in this post-apocalyptic world. Yeah.
If you're wondering, for the folks joining us, who Susan is one of our incredible colleagues in the Zoon Aquarium world that is a bird specialist. So very excited to see her in the chat. And the question to you, JHobz and Keys, is at some point we're going to need to name your vessels and christen them. So we got to start thinking about what your ship name
Oh,
is.
jeez.
So
Yeah, that's a good question. All right, I'll keep thinking about it. We've got some time to.
yeah, no, we've got time, but just be keeping that in the back of your mind.
Yeah. I'm trying to. I'm gonna like really try hard to somehow make it related to whales. Now that Keys mentioned it, kind of looks like one. Oh, I'm gonna get crushed.
good.
No, we good. Okay.
Name it
okay.
Amber for ambergris.
Ambergris. Could name it Richard after a very famous whale.
Moby Richard.
Moby Richard.
Richard, for us, the most famous of whales that produces our stream.
Right. Well, and if it's Moby, then it is a producer too.
Hobbs,
Sorry,
I
that-
don't know
that
how we
goes-
keep trading
Okay, that one
songs,
took
but
me
we
a
keep
sec. That one
trading
took
goes
me a
way
second.
back.
I got it. I got it.
No.
I did not even know who Moby was until I found out that he did like some of the songs on the Bourne Ultimatum soundtrack.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I remember him from his beef with Eminem. I was in France at the time, so I didn't really understand what was going on. But Eminem had that line about nobody listening to techno, and it was related to, what's going on? Anyway, that was pre-internet. Oh, we've got Bodie McBoatface as a suggestion. That's classic. I don't know if you know this, Keys and Hobbs, but Emily, remember our SOCOM buoy name?
Wait, hold on. We named it.
Floaty McFloatface.
Yeah, that's right. We did. We named it Floaty McFloatface.
So there's currently in the Southern Ocean a buoy named by us called Floaty McFloatface that is in the Southern Ocean. Us, yeah. And it is recording oceanographic data about the Southern Ocean, one of the most productive environments on the planet, of a lot of different commercial fisheries and resource for so many different animal species. So those are our colleagues at MBARI, the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute. If you don't follow them on social media, they are doing a lot of really cool stuff. And they're our partners for our Into the Deep exhibit that will be opening up on April 9th. And so the SOCOM buoy down, there's actually one out there called Floaty McFloatface. So shout out
That's so great.
Shout out to ya buoy out there.
That just reminds me of like the genes that have been sequenced or whatever it is, like things in that world that are named after like Sonic the Hedgehog and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of really amazing scientific names out. I mean, Boops is a very famous fish. Yeah.
I found our picture of Floaty McFloatface. I'm gonna drop that link in the chat.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Small thing I just did there, and this is a very common thing that you would do in like a lot of speedruns, is like we want to keep this fuel or this engine like running at full kilter pretty much all the time, right? But I got it started without pressing the button in all the way because I knew that I was going to run out of fuel if I tried to do that. So I just got it started enough to get me moving and then went and added some fuel into the tank rather than like going and putting the fuel in and not moving forward that whole time. I was burning. I was just burning to tell everybody about that what I was doing there,
Talk about a fire sale.
Taco Bell? So that might be what I have to get for dinner.
It is Tuesday. Hey, happy Tuesday.
Actually, it is. I'm definitely getting Taco Bell for dinner tonight.
Yeah, you got to get tacos for the Tuesday. I don't know how many you're supposed to get, 222 or 222.
222? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Goodness, that'd be quite a lot of tacos.
Oh, no, I'm rolling backwards, Keys. Ah!
Oh, no.
Okay, go, vehicle, go.
Yeah, for Tuesday, if you folks follow the aquarium on social media, you've already seen it. But just to toot our own horn over here, what we tweeted or posted today is the story of two tubular tunicates that took turns tuning two tuna for a toot, but too untoward was the tooling tour to the tunids that they entombed the two tunicates in a toothy toupee. Anyway, happy Tuesday. So if you head over to our social media, you'll see a fun little graphic there for Tuesday. Encourage everybody to stay up until 10:22 and 22 seconds tonight, so you get 22 on 2:22.
You could do it in multiple time zones if you can't. You can do it in a different time zone if you can't make it in your own.
That's right. Yeah. It's 2:22 somewhere.
Yep. All right.
Ooh,
This is a
13
longer walking section.
13 twos, apparently. That's kind of scary. Oh.
Keys, I like how we're gonna have to go back to the left, but you still decided to take the barrel with you all the way to the
Hey,
right.
I don't ever remember if I need to fuel something or not, so you know.
A good point. But they pretty much always give you fuel for the
This
the little
is
things.
not untrue, but you know, in my panic.
Hey, look, fuel.
Ah!
Man.
It's okay. Maybe I can do a sequence break by like using the height of the barrel for something.
Maybe that's actually another common way to try to find glitches and skips in speedrunning is to like basically squish yourself against a ceiling or a floor by using a grabbable object like the barrels in this game.
What does
stand
that
on
read
'em.
there behind you? Sorry, something the future.
It says we build our future.
Ooh boy.
Yeah.
Oh buoy.
Oh buoy.
Boy.
Yeah.
Hey, Hobbs, did you know that if you had an item and you went against a wall in one of these elevators, you can throw it through the wall? It serves no purpose, but it makes you sad if you lose a barrel that way.
That's great.
I'm not speaking from experience, no.
No, certainly not.
Not like I was trying to see if I could clip through or anything. Something does clip through, let me tell you.
Okay, so I grabbed my barrel now. And once again, first things first, got to get the vehicle moving as soon as possible rather than doing anything else. So I want to do that.
I miss my vehicle.
I don't think I'm going to bother putting the sail up just yet because I think it would just get knocked down in a second.
Sail. These are such beautiful games these particular styles. Just the sound design, the lighting and everything. It's really, really immersive. I'm loving it.
Yeah,
especially for
it's awesome.
ocean people.
Yeah,
For it
I'm
to
not
be
gonna grab those.
immersive is great.
yeah. You said it kind of reminded you of Journey before, and I can totally get that vibe from it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also, there's still like something kind of sinister about it as well at times. So it's kind of got like Limbo-esque vibes to it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why is this not going up? That's weird. Okay, so
I
I'm
just love that-
I'm gonna have to.
Something as
Feel
simple
this.
as parallax just gives so much depth. You know, it's like
Yeah,
I've played around in After Effects now and again to do some animation and learning about how to move background, slower than foregrounds and everything helps create that sense of depth. It's really amazing to see it done by obviously masters at it. But it's just so silly to think that it's just your eyes interpreting that. It's all a little brain illusion to see that depth. It's really cool.
yeah, I completely agree. Hello? Push the sail up. Why? Oh, well, and now there's another spot where I'm going to get stopped, so okay. This has been pretty close. I've been...
We've
impressed
been
we
like
haven't,
trading
Yeah.
leads.
I thought that might happen with this game because, like, the fun thing is about the fun thing about like the fact that there's all this resource management to it is that it means if I like load up on some fuel somewhere, I'm gonna spend time doing that, and Keys is gonna like potentially pass me if he doesn't stop in the same spot. But then later he might run out of fuel, so then I might like pull back ahead. So it's kind of like, honestly, if you go to if you watch like NASCAR or something and they take pit stops at different times, like it's going to kind of fool you into not knowing necessarily who's actually in the lead, and how efficiently you're doing that is just as important as the rest of the race.
Yeah. Wow. And this is fascinating. Now you've both you have a hybrid steam or like little propeller boat.
Yeah.
What are they called? Paddle boat.
Yeah. Or like a water wheel thing here too. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Are there any so? Obviously most fish are going to be using just fins to swim around or anything. Are there other? You already told us about some that are that sail. Are there other kind of methods of modes of transportation that fish end up using that people might not know about? Like creatures.
Yeah, Emily, do you want to take part of that?
Yeah, I'm trying to
Well, one thing I can mention is there are just the different styles of swimming that fish do, and then after that we can talk about some alternate. But there's a bunch of different ways that fish swim. They're kind of fun. So there's what's known as labriform swimming, which is like a perch or a sheephead. You might see parrotfish. Where they flap with their front fins, mostly their pectoral fins, to swim around. So that's labriform. And then you have what's known as Caringiform swimming, I believe, which is the style that sharks use, largely with their tail. And then you've got Ostraciform swimming. I need to make sure to get that correct. But Ostraciform swimming, I believe, is the way that mola mola swim, where they swim with their dorsal and anal fin. But let me look that up real quick. Emily, is there another style of motion that you'd like to mention?
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of different kinds. I think, did you talk about anguilliform types?
Not yet.
of
No.
swimming? Okay. So anguilliform is the way that eels move. So that very distinct movement of using their entire body to kind of make that S shape as they're wiggling their way through the water. It's called anguilliform swimming. And then let's see here. You've got, oh my, I always forget how many. There's like over a dozen different styles.
Yeah, no,
let's see if we can get some of them.
No, you get into the nitty gritty. Obviously, it being a scientific topic, there's lots of different ways of
like classifying.
Yeah, of classifying it. But really, it's like carangiform is what you would associate with a shark, where it's largely the tail moving. Like Emily was mentioning, anguilliform is where the whole body is sinewy. Ostraciform is when you've got mostly the dorsal and anal fins that are moving them around. So it's like a mola mola or a boxfish. But then you've also got the way that skates and rays, or especially rays, will
like the
flap around.
Yeah,
where they have that wavy motion. That's the same thing that you find in a cuttlefish mantle fin. But different ways of locomoting. I mean, if you're a teeny tiny plankton, like a copepod, if you're plankton from SpongeBob, who is a plankton, that's why he's only got the one eye. They're at a scale where they have tons of appendages that stick out from their body that increase their surface area, so that they can sink and swim and flit and kind of do what you would normally associate with a little shrimp relative. But what they can also do is, when they splay out those appendages at their scale, water is sort of like molasses or like a tar. So they're almost walking through the water. They can kind of like walk on the water molecules in the way that they're interacting with the environment. So it's very dissimilar to how we experience water, where, you know, you jump, you sink, you swim, but we feel it as this fluid. The larger you get, like if you're a whale, it's going to feel much more like air. Like water's going to feel more like air to a whale than it does to us. And then the smaller you get, then it becomes much more like tar or a molasses that you're walking in. So that's one way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Someone also pointed out in the chat, like or Susan in the chat, with feather stars and feather stars and how they swim through the water with their arms. And so if you Google one thing today, Google feather star swimming, and it'll blow your mind the way that they take the, you know, there are dozens of arms and they flap them up and down.
Oh, it's
in
ridiculous.
the water, and they're swimming that way. And then of course they can, you know, splay them out like you were saying, Pat. It's like moving through molasses. So by splaying your arms out in the water, you're increasing that surface area, so you can slow your descent down in the ocean. And so you see them just flap, 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 and then they'll stick their arms out and kind of slowly drift down and flap, 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 flap. But it's wild to see their movement out there.
Oh, they're so cool, and especially to think that back in the day, like before, I'm pretty sure this was like pre-corals, but basically before a lot of huge reefs were built up, most of the rock structure was covered by crinoids, which are relatives of starfish. They're echinoderms, so they're related to sea cucumbers, sea urchins, starfish. But feather stars, crinoids, are some of the original ocean animals, and often, or like you'll find them all throughout the fossil record. And so that style of swimming has been around for a very, very long time. And often people will find fossilized crinoids that look like drill bits because of the segmentation that they have on their little stalks. And we'll be like, "Oh, we've got a multi-million-year-old drill bit in this shale deposit. Aliens are real." And then it's like, no, that's actually a crinoid. That's totally normal. That happens pretty frequently.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crinoid stem fossils are really fun to find too. They just like they're these little tiny discs, and it looks like they have a little star in the middle of them. And yeah, I have a couple of them that I keep on my desk at work. Yay.
Yeah.
You know, a reminder of how awesome the ocean is at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah, and has been awesome
That's cool.
for a very, very long time.
And
Yeah,
will
because
continue to be awesome.
what was that, Emily?
Oh, I said, and will continue to be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another style of swimming in the ocean. I don't know, Hobbs, are you ready for me to move on from this topic?
Real quick, all I was going to say is, Keys, I think you're going to catch up a lot of time over here. I'm out of fuel, and I don't think any is going to spawn here for a while, so I'm just going with the wind.
I have 2 exploding barrels.
Yeah, I didn't grab any of the explosives that were there, and I have nothing else. I was really hoping there was going to be one more patch of things. So, yeah, I'm just hoping that the wind will take me far enough, fast enough. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, just another style of locomotion in the ocean. The locomotion of the ocean. It goes along this notion is jet propulsion.
I could hear you trying to figure out.
Could you hear that?
Literally hear the cogs in
You
your
can
brain.
hear the cogs turning.
Okay,
No,
there it is.
Focus on your game. You got no.
It was like your brain was a crinoid swimming frantically there for a second, and then when you settled down,
yeah. No, I realized that the chance at a litter ocean was very high. No, but jet propulsion is something that a lot of animals do. In particular, cephalopods are very famous for it. So nautiluses, those of you who may be familiar, the shellid cephalopods that have been with us for 500 million years on the planet, nautili jet propulse and kick around using water going into their mantle and coming out of their siphon. You might be familiar with that with squid, with octopus are able to do that as well. But you think about jet propulsion as something that was invented in the ocean a long, long time ago. And nautiluses, I was thinking about, post-apocalyptic landscapes like we have in here. If there's any animal that I'm waging is going to hopefully, or I hope they'll make it through, they're being overfished currently due to the ornamental value of their shells. So we were talking about, fossils and things. Try not to make current living animals into fossils, everybody out there. If you happen to be in a spot where you see nautilus shells being sold, those are not old shells. Those are recent shells. And these cephalopods can live 20 plus years. They reproduce very, very slowly. And when we had them on display at the aquarium, we were actually working very closely with Fijian authorities to responsibly display these. We were even working on culturing them to potentially solve that cycle for nautiluses. But nautili have been around for 500 million years, and I was thinking about this post-apocalyptic landscape. There are some times when it's good to be on the naughty list, and it would be if you're a nautilus trying to survive an extinction event, because so far they are 5 for 6. And who knows?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there have been 5, I believe, right, Emily? 5 mass extinctions, and we're currently in the 6th one, and it's due to the Anthropocene in terms of the number of species that we're losing over a certain period of time. We're currently living in a time of an extinction event that will be looked back on as being the Anthropocene moment. But so far, Nautilus should be okay down there in the deep sea where they are, as long as we don't over-harvest them for their shells. So something to think about there.
I got what you were talking about was such a serious topic, Patrick, but can you say what period we're in again?
The Anthropocene?
You just put the emphasis very strangely in the word.
There are moments.
I don't know.
There are moments where I'm reminded that I learned English from watching TV and then hanging out with people. Growing up in France, there are moments. Pronunciation is not my strong suit.
There are so many words. I remember when I first started working with you, but it was like 5 years into our friendship, and all of a sudden you pointed out that I said kelp forest weird. And I'm conscious about every time that I say it now. But I say Anthropocene. And you say
Anthropocene.
Anthropocene. You put the
Anthropocene.
emphasis like
On the
earlier
wrong
in there.
syllable.
Yeah, the emphasis.
Well, in any case, we're gonna have Hobbs and Keys stop their speedrun and settle it. What's the proper?
Yeah. Is it Anthropocene?
How are you guys doing? What are you up to over there?
Well, it's funny you say that because we actually do need to stop the speedrun here in a second and take our first break. And I'm so mad that I didn't get any of the. I thought we were coming up on another like stop, so I didn't get any of the fuel again that I just went by. So now I got to take this long trek back here to get this one box of fuel in the hailstorm.
The hailstorm was the stressful part I was talking about earlier, by the way, because everything just lights on fire, and I didn't realize that like putting out the fire in your sail was basically pointless.
I didn't know it could be so stressful. I thought it was just a band. Anyways, with that, on that note, let's go ahead. If you're ready, Keys, we can pause.
Yeah,
we can do a countdown.
I'm good
and
whenever
pause.
you are.
Okay, yeah, just fires that I. It's fine. All right, 3, 2, 1, pause. Everything's on fire. It's all fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Fine.
This is
Yeah, everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
So we're going to take a quick break, everybody. We'll be back in just a few minutes. It's a great time to go stand up and stretch, get some water, anything like that. Want to remind everybody that this episode of TFS that is happening on a Tuesday, is actually sponsored by Frontier Foundry. They are letting us check out Lone Sails, which is a game that came out in 2018 by Okomotive, and also the upcoming sequel we're going to get to check out a little bit early. It's called Far Changing Tides, and that one we'll be doing as a complete improv race after we finish this game. So stick around. We'll be back in a few minutes, everybody, with more ocean puns, I'm sure.
See you soon.
And welcome back, everybody, to this special Tuesday episode of The First Step. We just want to remind everyone real quick that this is a sponsored stream. We did it. Hobbs and I finally stood out enough. Go team. But this stream is sponsored by Frontier. So thanks to them ahead of time for not only providing the game we are playing right now, which is Far Lone Sails, but they're also going to be, they have already provided a copy of Far Changing Tides, which is their upcoming game that's coming out March 1st. Pretty excited to play that one. We obviously have not touched it. We played this in, preparation to get familiar with the series. So that's going to be really fun. And it's going to be even more fun because that is way more based around ocean stuff, which is why we have our good friends, Emily and Patrick, with us from the Monterey Bay Aquarium. I'm super duper excited to have you two aboard. It's already been a fun trip so far, and it's only going to get punnier as we go on. But just want to remind everyone real quick, too, a couple of announcements, and I'll throw it to you, Hobbs, because you'll probably say the next part better than me. But I just want to remind everyone that even though we are doing this Tuesday, we will have our regular episode on Thursday as well. And also, your favorite Tuesday shows, Random Number Generation and Aimbot, will be returning in 2 weeks. So if you were afraid that they were kind of just gone and out, they definitely aren't. We just have the sponsored episode today. And just a reminder on Changing Tides coming out, that will be released March 1st, as previously mentioned. It'll be on all current generations of consoles, so Xbox One, Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Switch, and PC. And you can always go to farchangingtides.com for more info. And Hobbs is a lot better at talking than I am, so you can talk about some of the Monterey Bay stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, as Keys mentioned, we're joined by some fantastic folks from the Monterey Bay Aquarium, which is an awesome place that actually is accepting donations right now because obviously things had to kind of close down during the more tough parts of the pandemic, and you can use !donate in chat to get a link to be able to donate. But also, like, you should check out their store page, which Pat, Emily, if either of you, what is it's MontereyAQ.org.
It's if you want to go to the store, it's shop.montereybayaquarium.org.
Monterey Bay Aquarium. Okay.
If you want to donate, that one's going to be mbaq.co/GDQ that will take you there, or just !donate in the chat. Look at you go.
That's
You're
right. And
learning.
come on down to the shop. We've got the finest plush, the best t-shirts, and
Yes.
a whole bunch of other things that the aficionados in your life will absolutely enjoy.
Yeah. I actually bought 2 of the masks a while back when we were doing one of the Ocean Weeks, and I'm still so sad that when I was visiting Keys at one point, I lost one of them.
I still haven't found.
I mean, lost, quote unquote.
Yeah, he stole it.
He
He's just never
found
wearing
That's what the
it.
green screen behind me is for. Like I just go
Right.
behind the green screen and put on the mask.
Yeah, behind the green screen is all just masks that have been stolen from people. Just like, I can't find mine.
Yeah.
No, we thank you so much, everybody. We appreciate all of your support of the aquarium. If you ever have the opportunity to come on down to the aquarium in person, we are open, and we have a new deep edition that will be opening up in April 9th. Will be Into the Deep. You'll get to see some really, really amazing animals, particularly if you have watched our Animal Crossing streams from back in the day on Twitch. You'll see some of those animals represented certainly in videos and exhibits that we have there. Then the other thing, Emily, we kind of want to let everybody know is that our experience with GDQ got us introduced to Discord in a new way, which has then led us down a multi-year path to now having our own, right, Emily?
Yeah, if you want to join fellow fish friends or fish fronds, you can head on over to discord.gg/Monterey Bay Aquarium and join our brand new week-old little baby server.
Our little baby server.
Yay!
It's a lot of fun. We're trying to make it a space to share everything you love about the ocean, everything that you know going on at the aquarium. If you have any interest in checking out that Discord, we'll be over there. But we're just so excited to be here with Far Lone Sales and you two, Keys and Hobbs. It's so much fun to be here again with you all in the wonderful GDQ community that's been so instrumental to supporting the aquarium over our closure.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here. It's a lot of fun. And let's why don't we get back into it, shall we? Because I need to figure out some way to catch up because I had massive time loss right before the break. So I'm gonna count us in 3, 2, 1, go. Everything's on fire. I forgot.
This is fine.
I forgot it was all on.
This is fine. I'm totally okay with these circumstances.
Wait, how do I?
I mean, this might be a good moment to mention that you may have seen recent aquarium research. If you follow us on social media, we just came out with some research that we had done about how the ocean is experiencing climate extremes, heat extremes in the ocean very, very frequently. In fact, what used to be considered an extreme event is now very, very commonplace. And you might know that last year was also the warmest year on record for the ocean. So whenever you hear about those temperature graphs going on land, think about that also happening in the ocean. And just from diving perspective here in the Monterey Bay, one of those ways you can see that things are a little bit different is that we have a whole community of fish that used to be found off of Southern California back in the day that lives here year-round now, that recruited in the last 10 years through a bunch of different warming cycles, Niños, the blob, all these different things that we had going on the climate front. So in any case, it's always a good time on planet Earth to wake up and thank the ocean for absorbing so much of the extra heat that has been produced there. So in any case, now that the fires are out, we can go back to more positive topics.
Realizing one of the reasons I kept running out of fuel, which is we got access to a kind of vacuum, basically, that can actually pick up fuel for us. And I wasn't using it because I forgot.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Yeah, it does spin fuel, but I should have been using that and I completely forgot. So yeah, that was definitely a massive reason for why I ran out of fuel.
So would you say that not using that vacuum potentially has led to a time suck for you?
Yes, absolutely. It would be a time suck.
All right. Okay, no, just wanted to confirm. Okay. Trying to keep the stream clean over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Picking up the Pisces, as somebody's saying.
this would have been a smart time for me to start working on repairing my sail since I'm doing absolutely no forward momentum. But you know, I'll wait until it's slower to do it, I guess.
Oh no, I'm dumb.
Oh no,
I forgot I can't jump that high. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna push the cart to the right here because I don't need it for for making the gear that we're about to make here or whatever it was. But I forgot that I needed to get up on those steps. Now I can push it.
No, I was too slow to my vacuum. I missed so much fuel. Oh,
Good.
No.
Pull a me.
Well, I mean, I do have this exploding canister. This was my last emergency canister, but alas.
Oh, locked me in. Oh, we're going
so
up.
It seems like your vacuum clean streak came to an end. I'm just struggling over here, waiting in the wings.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, it's not Ocean Week yet, but we are looking forward maybe to do some more of that. That's been super fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Are there any games that just are impossible to speed run in a sense where it's like just about everybody can get to a maximum efficiency level, or is there always some kind of an advantage?
Oh, you take this one, Keys.
I mean, in my experience, even games that don't seem like they can have a speedrun, the speedrun community's found really clever ways to make competitions out of them anyway. So
Okay.
even if there's something like, you know, like a traditional arcade game that's like, oh, you max out at a score, you know, they'll still find a way to track like how fast you got to the score, if not just the score itself. But there's always neat ways to find ways to create competition out of it, for sure.
Yeah, like even online multiplayer games like, you know, Valorant or League of Legends or something, people find ways to speedrun those, believe it or not.
Okay.
It is you cannot stop the speedrun community, basically. we will find some way to make our hobby work.
No. Oh no, I'm about to pull a U. No, where's my fuel?
All right, I need to go. Or to turn on the vacuum this time. There we go. That'll help.
There's a few folks in the chat that are bringing up different games that are hard to speedrun, like World of Warcraft.
Yeah, people do though. I guarantee you.
Oh, wait, there's a lamp.
My one interaction with World of Warcraft, when I was in Sweden for high school, a friend of mine was a very high-ranking World of Warcraft player, and I was over at his house one day, and he had me take over just so he could go use the restroom. And he said, "Don't do anything except hit this button." And somebody came over, and I hit the button, and I guess something happened where I like killed that person because my friend was very, very high-ranking. And I guess it was like this huge thing because he was well known on the server or whatever.
Oh, no.
And it was, I guess, weeks of him explaining that it was his stupid friend who only plays FPSs every once in a while that did that, and that it wasn't him. And I was no longer allowed to get anywhere near World of Warcraft. And that is why I am a marine biologist today.
Yeah, then like otherwise pro gamer, that would have been the
right.
the route, you know.
Yeah.
That was
That
the
would've been your
inflection
moment.
point of my life, was right there.
Yeah.
I love how I hit the emergency. At least I thought I hit the emergency brake of my vehicle, and it was like, no, you didn't. Come back, it's cold.
It's very cold out.
My
It
chance.
won't stop. It won't stop. Stop. I just needed fuel.
It's a good chance for me, maybe.
Yeah, this is your prime opportunity right now.
All right, so I don't know if there's like I don't know about you, Keys. I've been waiting for the Steam to get up to like the red basically before activating it most of the time because it feels like you get a bigger boost when you do that. But I don't know
you
for
do.
sure. So
once it's in the red, you get like the tiniest boost. Yeah, like I tested it out a little bit.
I'm about to
That's
be
definitely a thing.
unless there's some fuel laying on the ground up here. I am about to be out. Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fine. It's
Yeah.
time for the old classic.
Oh,
come on.
thank goodness.
Oh, I think the I think the wind may be No, here we go. Oh, here we go.
No, stop! Emergency brake. Enough.
We're
There's so
having
much fuel
opposite
over there.
problems right
Oh
now.
no.
I'm trying to get ahead of it so I can pull my ship. Oh no! No! get on! Come on! No!
Right now, what I would say, Hobbs, is that you are a very good impression of a remora trying to latch onto a very speedy whale. She's like, no, hold on.
Yeah. Oh no. Yep. All right. There goes the sails. Yep. I was trying to save a little bit more time by like trying to help pull the vehicle, but
You know, this never happened to me in my casual playthrough because I wasn't trying to race someone, so I always slowed down for fuel.
Oh yeah, same. I mean, I didn't stop for every bit of fuel that I saw, but I definitely, if I didn't have some reserves and stuff, I was often stopping for it.
So far, Susan has a name for your ship of the Struggle tugboat.
I'm about it.
The Struggle. That's a very good name for a boat.
Yeah.
TFS, the first struggle.
There you go. Wait, no, that could have been fuel. Wait, come back. No, I'm putting the sail down. I'm getting that. I need it. I didn't know it was going to be there. I would have been ready. Come back.
All right.
Did
Time
we
for stuff
mention
to be on fire?
Did we mention that these are not practice speed runs? This is just
Not
our
even close.
Yeah, us doing our best on our second attempt to try to play it fast. And it's actually like absolutely a factor with speedrunning that sometimes when you try to like go faster because you like you try something that you think will be faster, sometimes it's either not faster at all, or it just because you have not practiced it, you are not specifically able to make it faster and end up losing more time. And that's something that like you should never get discouraged by, because it totally happens to everybody when they're starting out with a game, even if they've been speedrunning for years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's fuel. Go hit the vacuum quick. Okay.
Nice.
Get some fuel in there. Completely ran out. That's okay.
That's a very similar feeding mechanism with that vacuum. Just going to some marine biology, as far as there are a lot of different fishes out there. For those of you who may have access to a fish market, sometimes it's fun to get the whole fish, and you can see how their jaws work. A lot of fish will have tucked in jaws that then when they shoot forward, they create this massive cavity that allows to slurp food into the body of the fish without obviously having hands or forks and knives and things onto the meal. And there's a few fish at the aquarium, including the giant sea bass, that are ridiculous in terms of their ability to suction things. When they open up their mouth, they create such negative pressure that they'll often come up to the divers that are feeding them. And if they feel like they're not being fed fast enough, they'll do a little suction near the face of the diver. And there are a few divers that report having their mask pulled off their face and then back on from the pull of the suction by a giant sea bass. So it looks like your vacuum to grab fuel is very similar. And there are a lot of fish out there that have protrusible jaws that do that same thing, where you wouldn't expect them to be able to really do anything, and then they throw their jaw forward very quickly and sucks it in. And a very cool version of that is what happens with seahorses, which are known as stignathids, which means fused jaw. Seahorses, they like have their head tilted back in that classic seahorse phase or shape, and then they can throw their head forward, which creates huge suction down the barrel of their mouth. So it's kind of like, it's almost like like a reverse rifle in terms of how it like they shoot their head forward.
I was trying to imagine it, and then
pulls food in.
That makes sense.
So anyway, so that's what y'all are doing with your fuel there off the back. Another that suction feeding is very, very common in the ocean.
Yeah, protrusible jaws. if you Google two things today after
Yes.
after Feather starts swimming, then protrusible jaws, because
Yeah.
I mean the videos and like the pictures that people have taken are 10 out of 10 of this, like these little just like straws that just suddenly
Yeah, I
appear.
I just googled protrusible jaw, and that first photo of the wrasse is a classic. Ho ho.
Oh, I was doing the right thing the first time, but I didn't think I was, and so I gave up on it. I'm a fool.
I don't like this part as much. It's so much exercise.
Has your controller stopped vibrating? Are you good?
Yeah, no. It stopped vibrating about 10 minutes in. I just got kind of focused and forgot. But yeah,
Okay.
the Hobbs pretty much called it. The moment that the first vibration was supposed to happen, my controller was like, wait a minute.
Wait, hold on.
What's going on?
So
here?
sorry.
Time out.
I really jumped the gun. I just got so excited.
I think what happened was I was at a point where it wanted to vibrate in the game right when we hit new game, so it just kind of maintained the behavior. a little
Yeah,
bit.
that I've had that happen before, which is why
Mhm.
I had an idea of how it might resolve itself. Oops, I should have waited a little bit.
I had
longer
to
on
double
that
check
Steam.
when you asked though, Pat, because I was like, maybe I got so used to it that I don't realize it's still vibrating. So like I put it against the table real quick. I
Yeah,
was
just
like, okay.
show us your hands on stream, and they're just shaking uncontrollably. It's like, this is great.
Oh no, I needed the water first.
I will say it's extremely convenient that your ship happened to be on such a good straight shot through the world to land on these tracks.
Yeah,
Extremely convenient.
and just right along right into a shop that
Oh my
happened to have
God.
large a large way to deal with the
Yeah.
the like swapping the wheels out and everything. Very convenient.
Very good.
Oops. Can I jump up here? Nope. All right, I had to attach the front there.
I was so busy pushing the cart or pushing the ship with the cart that as soon as I walked back in the ship, I forgot I left it on fire. So like it was just completely on fire the moment I walked in.
Yeah, so this is the part I was talking about earlier, where I tried to like find a way to like stand on the very front edge of this to like just get multiple presses in a row and see if I could like make it super speedy. I couldn't quite make it work, but
Valiant
maybe.
effort though.
Yeah.
I really like this mechanism that they have of you're outside of the ship, you're inside of the ship, and the way that it reveals. But it's also giving me a lot of Life Aquatic, introducing the ship vibes of, I don't know if you've seen Life Aquatic recently, but when they describe the ship, that movie is based off of a lot of historical Jacques Cousteau films, and they do go through how the ship is set up, and it's like they have this cross section where you can see this is the lab, this is the this is all these different things. So yeah, I don't really have any point to that other than it's neat.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, I think it's gonna stop there. I want to hit that. Now get on. I'm not making this mistake again. Okay.
I almost did.
All right, and then first things first, get the vacuum on. Oh no, is the vacuum broke? No, I turned it off. I'm a fool again. It was already going.
Oh, this is a great question from somebody in the chat, but I think it has to do mainly with their name being BR Bonfire. But if you leave the ship on fire the whole time, will it eventually get destroyed? Will it just not move forward anymore? You know?
I don't know if it can get destroyed, but I know if you personally stand in a fire for like 2 seconds, you die.
Yeah, that's not great. But if you're a deep sea hydrothermal vent animal, you might be hanging out near water that is superheated above the boiling temperature on the surface because of the pressure that you're under. And so you might have animals that are living in water that is just extremely ridiculously hot, that would be scalding to the touch, but they do just fine with it. They have many of them sulfur-eating bacteria that live inside of their guts that digest the sulfur compounds that are coming out of the Earth's crust there, and they're able to chemosynthesize to photosynthesize. So they are using chemosynthesis to produce energy instead of using sun to do so. And so there are a lot of different theories about where life began, if it was in the ocean, if it was near the surface, if it was on the deep sea floor, all these different areas. And chemosynthetic communities are likely to be found, or hopefully to be found, on a planet out there in the solar system where maybe there's a liquid ocean under a huge layer of ice. If the planet or the moon is geologically active and you've got vents, then there's a good chance you've got microbial communities there, and then other things that eat those. So you can be on fire and still doing good if you are an extremophile, maybe in a lake, a little pond, Yellowstone, or if you are the tube vent community, hanging out there in different. Colleagues at Mbari have done really cool research over in Baja on some really cool rift valleys and other things there as well.
The underwater vents in general were always like they're so interesting to me, their existence. Yeah. I remember as a kid learning about that, and I was like, how, but water, but water can, but water wet, how can basically fire be underwater?
No, exactly. It's totally, it really, those are the kinds of communities that if you spend long enough thinking about them, you realize just what does it actually mean to be a life form on Earth, because everything that we experience as far as like our food is grown from, sun and water, micronutrients, everything like that. You just get rid of that entire system and then you rebuild it under same certain similar principles of, small things are eaten by bigger things, right? But so it's not completely topsy-turvy, but it's a completely different fuel source. Yeah, it's really interesting to think about what life therefore can be, especially in the solar system. It's probably going to look a lot more like what's on those vents than it does like us, especially because we live on the land part of the planet, and that's not most of the living space.
Yeah.
This is a really amazing moment in the movie. What is this? Or the movie. This game, this reveal right here. Wow.
Yeah.
That's the AT-AT Titanic. The Titanic. What is it?
Yeah, so we kind of procure this for a little bit, the temporary upgrade of vehicle,
Whoa.
Okay, I was really worried
wild.
when I went and grabbed the bell that I was misremembering and I didn't need to go get it. And now I'm glad that I did need to get it just to get up on that little on that ledge, whatever it is. I don't know, the desk. Otherwise I would have to come back for the barrel. I guess it's probably still faster to come back for the barrel, but at least it wasn't a complete waste of time.
Mm-hmm. I'm just glad that you've upgraded, because as we always know in marine science tropes, we're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah,
and, you're in it. Someone in the chat here, Army of One. Europa is the moon of Jupiter that likely has an undersurface of liquid water and might have some life due to the tidal forces of Jupiter deforming the seabed and creating heat. Yeah. We've actually worked at the aquarium with the Jet Propulsion Lab in Southern California, where they tested some equipment that they were planning on having on Europa in our kelp forest exhibit, and our colleagues at Mbari work with them as well.
Jeez, that's really cool.
We've tested a few bits of neat technology. Another one that I'm remembering is ESP, the environmental sampling processor that Mbari has. Basically, it's a biochemistry lab in a can that they can put out into the ocean and have different samples of genetic material in there so that they can test to see if that animal or plankton is around. And they tested it in our open sea exhibit because we know exactly which fish we have on exhibit. And so they could have all those different animals in the environmental sampling processor in there and see if they could find all the different fish species. And they did, except they found one extra species of fish in the sample that we did not have on display. And nobody could figure it out until they realized that what the environmental sampling processor was picking up was a type of fish that was in the food that was being fed to the sardines. And so they realized, okay, this thing really does work, because it was able to find not only all the fish that we expected, but also the presence of fish meal that was in the food that we feed to the sardines. So there's so much cool science happening at Bari for deep sea work and then also work off planet.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Like about the off-planet work. That's really cool. I mean, I didn't know about any of that work, but
Yeah.
you know, especially the off-planet stuff is very interesting.
No, it's one of those things, you know, with the James Webb Space Telescope coming online, it's out there looking for, quote, life on other planets. And usually what that means is that it's looking for other planets that are likely to have liquid water on them or a liquid ocean of some kind, because that's how we know that you get life. And so what we're really looking for in the stars, if we're looking for other life forms, is we're looking for other planets that have an ocean on them. So I always get into my own little thing about how we the wrong thing, and that if we woke up every day on planet ocean, we'd behave differently than waking up on planet Earth. But I digress.
Very true. We definitely would.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this nope, that doesn't open yet. All right. I'm trying to remember order of operations in this section because we're in this section for quite a while.
Operation.
Operation.
Emily, how you doing over there?
I'm great. I was trying to figure out a way to shoehorn stromatolites into that conversation.
Do it now. They're in there.
Looks
So
like
we're
we
just
found somebody
gonna
just bringing it up.
segue.
It'll be
See?
stromatolite work.
Yeah. But no, when you're talking about, you know, first life on Earth, it just got me thinking about like the first fossils of, you know, the origins of life on Earth happen to be those stromatolites, which are these like fossilized deposits that are left behind by cyanobacteria. So these are like, you know, modern day cyanobacteria, these blue-green algae are things that are photosynthesizing. So you have stromatolites, you know, that were created 3.5 billion years ago, that are very similar to, you know, the evidence of the stromatolites being left behind by these cyanobacteria today. So we know, you know, by looking into the fossil record that, you know, that's probably one of the first things that ever appeared on our planet as far as life forms go. And without them, we wouldn't have modern life as we have it today, because they are responsible for the creation of our beautifully oxygenated atmosphere that we have on our planet, because we didn't have anything photosynthesizing on our planet before that.
Right.
So you need photosynthesis to take all that carbon out of that atmosphere and turn it into oxygen, and that's what those stromatolites are doing. So you know, for folks who might be like down in Australia, you can go check out stromatolites that are down there. And, you know, when you're looking at them, you might only be like a meter, 3 feet-ish tall. But even that just like meter tall deposit left behind by stromatolites are thousands and thousands of years old, that you're looking at right there. And you know we have stromatolite fossils all over the world, including here in the United States. But yeah, stromatolites are super cool. So third thing to Google today, stromatolites.
Yeah. All right. Sorry to just completely get in the way of your speed run, but I don't think we've done this before. Just everybody, let's just get some shout outs out there to cyanobacteria. Can we just get some shout outs to like the original photosynthesizers? Just like get those dubs in the chat for breathable air, you know? Like let's go.
O's in the chat for oxygen.
Yeah, O's in the chat. Yeah, no, that's amazing. I mean, just think about what that kind of life looks like. You know, I mean, if you watch Book of Boba Fett, Star Wars, Star Trek, all these different shows about space, we often are interacting with humanoid organisms. But if you think about what does it mean to be alive, what does it take to be alive, and especially how fragile a human body is compared to some of the or how we're adapted to our specific environment and how fragile that would be in different environments. The life that we're likely looking for out there in the universe is going to be very dissimilar to us. Oh, we're getting some O's in the chat.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. Army of One mentioned that the James Webb Space Telescope is looking for a lot of different chemical signatures of light filtered through the atmosphere to find water, also CO2 and other chemicals. And all of that stuff is so fascinating to me, using what we understand of physics and chemistry to be able to image and look basically for signs of life through the type of light that's emanated. Things are getting pretty epic in the storm over there. How you doing there,
Help.
Keys?
Oh no, Haboob.
It's very, very bad here.
Yeah, meanwhile, I did one small thing back there that I was proud of, which was that I had intentionally left some resources to make a stepping staircase to get up on top of the button to like move the fuel down, or whatever the big weight down into the ground. But otherwise, yeah, I think Keys is getting near the end.
My car boat ship split in half. My poor whale.
Oh no.
No.
You've been torn asunder?
Yes.
No, he's been turned asunder.
Yes, I think this is just kind of like a balancing thing.
Yeah, I'm right now I'm in an auto scroller, I believe, until this point. Yeah. And yeah, I think you are playing a careful balance.
Close. Yeah.
Yeah, this will come down to the improv race of changing tides. Which for anyone who doesn't want to get spoiled, if they have been watching this and go, oh well, now I want to play the next game. Don't worry, we're not going to be playing the entire game in our race. We're going to go up to a specific point that Frontier told us about, and then we're just going to call the race there.
Okay, sorry, is that not in this game? You're finishing this one, right?
Yes, we are finishing this one.
Okay,
we're close to the end here.
Yeah, I'm actually about like a minute out, I think.
Yeah, if even that. Honestly, you're about to come up to the
that,
It's as soon as you press the button is time, so you're getting real close.
I brought my mailbox with me. I'm getting my achievement the whole way.
Nice.
All right,
you've got
mailbox. mail. I'm taking the time loss. Where did I put it?
Yeah, I mean you can because I definitely lost too much time on that one big running out of fuel. I think that was really the difference in the race here.
Emily, somebody was mentioning, I heard your Haboob comment as well. We currently have HobZ in the middle of it too. You want to explain that super quick?
Oh, yeah. So this kind of large sandy dust storm that HobZ is in the middle of right now, I screamed, oh no, Haboob, before, as someone who grew up in the desert and is very familiar with these sudden miles high dust storms that will blow through the area where you can't see, like 2 feet in front of your face.
HobZ, my mailbox. I
usually
get credit for it.
Mailbox, and there's a bird at the end too. This is a great game.
Oh yeah, time. That was time. Yeah. I got too sad because I was about to say time, but then I put my mailbox in, so I didn't. All of that work.
Sorry. Yeah. So I mean, those storms seem like very scary. Actually, like terrifying.
Yeah, you were in the middle of a HobZ boob just then, though.
Yeah.
That's what just happened.
Right there.
I was.
Yeah, I mean they can be. They're most of the time, with modern technology, when they're coming. It's also very evident when you like walk outside and you like look out and you're like, oh, there's just a wall of brown coming towards me. I should go in. But you always are a little taken aback by just like this huge, just miles high wall of dust that'll precede most of the time. It precedes things like a monsoon. So you have this, buildup of weather and this, huge force that's kind of coming out in front of it because of,
cut you off for
the
1 second.
low pressure
Time.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, I got an achievement for speedrunning it, I think.
Oh, did you get the 99-minute?
Yeah.
thing? Yeah, I got that too. I should have gotten my mailbox one, but I burned it. Imagine taking it all the way to the end. It's like Left 4 Dead 2 has that gnome achievement where you pick up the gnome in the carnival. Imagine you just lose it as soon as you escape.
Oh man,
I'm so upset.
Oh man.
But the beacon is lit.
The beacon,
Gondor calls for aid.
Can we get some GGs in the chat for Hobbs and Keys? That was epic.
Yeah.
We got GG Gups too.
This is significantly faster than the first. And honestly, when I was playing it the first time, I was kind of trying to like speed run like my way through it a bit, you know, like think of the ways that I would do it today. And I think it just came down to that one loss of fuel difference.
Yeah,
like, I think
we were
really
trading
close.
back and forth like the whole time until that, and that was probably the worst place that you could have not.
Oh, it
had
was.
fuel.
Yeah, I think I gained back some time during the walker section, the AT-AT section.
Yeah.
I think I gained a little bit of time back there, but yeah. So don't worry, everybody. Stream is not over because this stream was sponsored by Frontier Foundry, the publisher of the sequel to this game, Far Changing Tides. And as you can see, the tides are changing right now. You know, it's like they're led into it. So thanks to them, we have gotten keys to the unreleased, the yet to be released game, the sequel, Far Changing Tides. It comes out on March 1st. We're going to be doing a completely improv race. We have not played it before like we did with this game. We're just going to be seeing who can get to a specific point in the game first. It's going to be really fun. And I think I'm going to give people an idea real quick of just kind of like what the game is from the description that they give. It is an atmospheric vehicle adventure that follows the emotional journey of a boy and his ship as he embarks on a voyage to find a new home, sail stormy waters, dive unknown depths, and explore forgotten ruins in a beautifully realized flooded world. It's really interesting. That, I mean, kind of to what you were talking about, Pat, like that could have been our world in a way, you know, like so much of life on Earth is ocean based, and it's almost weird that like we weren't more water based. But yeah, I think probably the best way for us to do this is we're going to go ahead and just go to our second break now, so we can get the games all swapped over and get everything ready to go. And so stick around, everybody. In just a few minutes, we'll be back to start off our improv race of Far Changing Tides. Once again, thank you to Frontier Foundry for sponsoring this episode, this special bonus episode of The First Step. And thank you, Pat and Emily, for joining us for some commentary today.
Yay, thank you.
Yeah.
So much fun. Great job.
Welcome back, everybody, from the technical difficulties that we were totally not having at all. Nope, not
to be
at
clear,
all, but,
just weird OBS stuff,
this...
not like the game.
Yeah, you know, that for me, it took a while for the capture to actually pop up, but that is neither here nor there anymore. We are back with this special Tuesday episode of The First Step, sponsored by Frontier, the publisher of the game we are about to play, Far Changing Tides, which isn't even out yet. It's going to be out on March 1st, so it's right around the corner. Definitely recommend, if you like what you're seeing, add it to your Steam wish list, try out the demo, so on and so forth. We had fun with the previous Far, and we just finished that race, really close race, like about a minute of a difference. And we've never played Changing Tides before. Like I said, this is a game that's not even out yet. We are going to play it for the first time right here with all of you. It's a lot more ocean themed, which on the topic of ocean, we have our good friends from the Monterey Bay Aquarium, Em and Pat, who are here to pun everything up and also give us a lot of really awesome information and educational stuff on what's going to be on our screens.
Or even if they're not on our screens.
Yeah.
Shello again.
Shello. I hope everyone's having a whale of a time in the chat. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you so much for having us once again. It's so good to be here with you two. We had so much fun on the first game here, and now Changing Tides. Getting very, very excited to see what kind of ocean mysteries and wonder we have here coming up. So. Yeah, thanks so much again for having us. And we've got links going on in the chat there for ways you can support the Monterey Bay Aquarium. Our mission is to inspire conservation of the ocean. We've been open since 1984 here along the shores of the beautiful Monterey Bay, trying to get people excited about the ocean. And we're so excited to be here with all of you. Talk a little bit. what's going on in this game.
Yeah. And if Emily, if you want to let people know how they can interact with Monterey Bay Aquarium via new means, or if they want to donate, go ahead.
I sure can. So a couple of things. If you type that command !donate in the chat, that will give you a link to both our shop, our online store at the aquarium. Get awesome merch that goes to help supporting the, or you can donate directly to the aquarium with the link in that donate in chat mbaq.co/GDQ. Thank you to everyone who has donated so far. I just poked over there and saw everyone that's out there supporting the aquarium. We really appreciate all of the extra kelp from our fronds. And if you want to hang out with other fishy fronds, we wanted to let you know that you can in our brand new Discord channel.
Woo!
It's a little baby Discord channel. It's only a week old. Yeah, join our Discord. Do the Discord thing. It's hold on, I know what my words. It's discord.gg/Monterey Bay Aquarium. You can join our server and you can go and introduce oceans and say hello to everyone over there, and you can hang out with Pat and I all of the time. I mean,
all the time.
Isn't that the best?
If this stream hasn't been puntastic enough for you.
Yeah, I will say that for those of you that I will say whale, the whale, because I'm looking at our pun count. Normally by the break we're in triple digits, but we're trying to maybe tuna it down just ever so slightly so that folks.
It's a punderstated Tuesday.
It's a punderstated Tuesday. Yeah. Just want to make sure everybody who's maybe not familiar with our particular stylings of verbal commentary, they can come in a little bit.
So what you're saying
fresh.
is if you're tuning it down a little bit, so you're saying that the tides are changing.
The tides are changing.
They are changing.
Yep. Sometimes the puns rise, sometimes they fall.
I had to sneak it in there somehow.
That was good.
But yeah, I think with that, we are ready to get into our improv race of this game. Thanks again to Frontier Foundry for sponsoring this and giving us access to the game early. And thank you to Okamotive, the devs of this game and Far Lone Sales, because the first one was really fun, and I bet the second one will be as well. So if you're good, Keys, why don't you give us a countdown?
All right, press any button, Hobbs, in 3, 2, 1, go.
All
go.
right.
Hello?
Oh no.
Do you wanna go for me?
Hey,
look, it finally loaded. Hooray.
Yeah.
Press any button, but not that one.
Yeah, not whatever
in the lead.
Not the A button.
Ooh,
Anything but the A button.
This is new.
Oh my gosh, we're actually swimming.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Is this a different friend, or is it the same one? Just
I don't know if we just lost our like red parka, or or
I mean,
if
it would
it's
make
different.
sense. We are underwater. After
there was
all.
a seahorse. Did you see it, Pat?
I didn't see the seahorse. I was admiring the fact that the title of the game was in the back. Like that. I was just like, that's got to be so ominous if you're like, wait, why am I underwater? And you surface and you see a video game title in the atmosphere. You're like, oh no, I'm in a game.
I didn't even see it.
Well, if you didn't see it, it was a bad joke. It was a rocking horse that was under.
Oh,
it was a sea horse. It's funnier because I have to explain.
No, I love it.
That's how you know. That's all the best jokes.
Yeah.
No. And the hippocampus is a genus name for a lot of different seahorses, and I believe that it's named that way because it looks like the hippocampus in the brain, or vice versa. One inspired the other in its name.
And
that, of course, is if you have
lost
different.
because there's a real jump button, an honest to goodness jump button.
You have a large freshwater mammal attending a class. It's most likely happening on a hippocampus. So anyway.
Oh, no. Press the button.
Oh, I see. Oh, my goodness.
Took me way too long to press that button. Go!
I missed.
Out! I love how much we're diving in and out of the water here. It's...
So
this
is really fascinating because this is really chronicling sea level rise in a way. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, one of the aspects of climate change going on with the ocean is the rising of the sea level, and it happens in a few different ways. One of the ways that it's not just adding water to the ocean, although you might be familiar with things happening in Antarctica with various ice shelves and things breaking off and adding water that was on land back to the sea. But the other thing that can happen for the ocean to rise, similar to this, is the thermal expansion of the ocean. If you heat up water, it will expand in volume. And if you heat up a huge body of water like the ocean, if it goes up by just a little bit here and there, it actually ends up being many of sea level rise. And so at the aquarium, we do a lot of different we do a lot of different streams with puns in them about the king tides when they happen, which are the largest tides that happen during the year. So if you go and watch our king tide live stream that we did on the aquarium's YouTube and on Twitch as well, you can see what it looks like when we have the highest tides of the year, and those are going to be the normal tides of tomorrow, the normal high tide. So this is a good example of what our coastlines will look like as the ocean continues to rise just from heat expansion, let alone adding more water to the ocean basin.
Keys, I realized we can see each other's screens, which we don't normally do during an improv race.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we wanted to leave it that way or change it. Either way,
I don't care either way.
Yeah, it got me out of a bind a second ago, and then I think I returned the favor for you. So
you sure did, friend.
Uh-oh.
Oh, did we both do the same
thing?
Oh my goodness. All right.
This is cool so far,
no,
though.
I'm stuck.
This is really neat.
I love ocean. I love water games where there's not a oxygen meter.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about it. We're just, we can just
makes it
swim.
much
It's
more
fine.
enjoyable.
Oh heck.
It's funny too because given how the first game went, you'd almost think that that would be a resource we had to manage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, we have a drain thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
What is this? What
Whoa!
is going
Don't
on?
release it.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Hey, we have a green thing instead of a red park. What? What is? It's stuck on me. Oh no!
Oh no! All right, I figured that door on the left was going to open, but I got to look to the left and see that it opened for you first, so I could know for sure.
Whoa! No!
Oh no! This is not me. That was all game that just happened.
Oh jeez.
Wait, what? That's so cool.
I don't think I'm supposed to need that. Oh! Whoa!
Whoa!
You can propel.
So cool. Now I just need to find where I need to go.
Okay.
No big deal.
All right. Quick, Pat and Emily, what fish does that propulsion remind you most of?
Of what? Have you swimming around like
we'll
that?
be back in the water with this again in a second, but it was we kind of were like, yeah, there we go. We're swimming with like almost kind of spinning parts as we're going. I don't know if there's anything like that.
Yeah, there are jellies that swim like that. There's a really beautiful jelly called, I think it's called the silky jelly. Calabanima is the name of it. Actually, if you go to the aquarium's YouTube channel, or if you go to the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute YouTube channel, I'll see if I can find that link, put it in the chat. But there is a link to, or there's a video that we have of a jellyfish called a silky jelly, that when it was propulsing itself, it was spinning around in a circle. That could be from the vortex of the ROV, the remotely operated vehicle, near it. But one of the really cool things about just then is that current, we experience the wind as a largely, immovable object of ourselves unless you're hanging out in a hurricane. But we experience the wind as something blowing on us like that. You can think about ocean currents, though, as being aquatic wind. And it's very, very difficult to fight against the ocean. Water is, I believe it's 800 times more dense than air. And so a 2-knot current, so 2 miles an hour, is more than what you can swim against if you have all of your scuba gear on. So it's a very, very slow going current comparatively to what we might experience of like a 30-mile-an-hour gust on land. So right now you've got a lot of very interesting dynamics of the ocean currents and then the sails from the wind popping up here. So just thinking about, those pressure gradients of water and air that cause one to flow from one area to another. And that current that you're experiencing there is pretty crazy. But I guess it's sort of what you find in like Finding Nemo when they go into the ocean current, make sure you have an exit buddy, et cetera, et cetera. So it's good that this is a tag team effort. So you have your exit buddy already. This is a really cool sequence.
Is neat.
Sorry.
This is also very different. Like in the last game, with the sail, we could only do so much with it at a time. Like you basically put it up where you take it down. But this one, we seem to be able to change the angle of it.
Oh wow!
To try to
so that is you.
Wind.
That is you controlling that.
Yeah. That's super neat. I also realized I wanted to mention this before. I totally forgot. We want to remind everybody this is an unreleased game at the moment, which means we're technically playing like a beta build or whatever. There's nothing that we're expecting to run into, like glitch wise or anything like that. But if there's anything like that we do happen to see. Just bear in mind that this game is unreleased yet. It is still technically in development. Why?
Yeah.
Why do I feel like
this is gorgeous.
I'm seeing more things for your sail than for mine?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe not.
Well,
Yeah,
at least
really
so far we don't have to worry about fuel again.
Yeah, I'm sure that will. I'm sure that'll stay the same.
Your biggest weakness, fuel management.
You know what? I'm gonna go down here. Okay. Hey, there it goes. What? Why wasn't that unfurling before? Maybe it had to do with the strength of the wind, or maybe my angle wasn't good enough earlier.
I want to say that if you start trying to go against the wind with your sail, that this would make for very tacky gameplay. Because I don't know if you're familiar with tacking in the wind.
I'm not. No. But I knew immediately it was a pun.
No, that's the way that you. Oh, sorry. Am I predictable? No, the way that ships will sail into the wind, and I'm not a sailor, so this is a very loose understanding. But to sail into the wind, you basically go off to the right, off to the left, back and forth. So you're tacking against the wind. As long as the wind's not blowing directly in your face, you can go at an angle to it. So. For those of you who are disinterested in trigonometry, that is where it can apply in the real world in this particular case here for going into and out of the wind. So it looks like you have way more control over how much sails you have and how fast you're going.
Yeah, but also I can tell my sail is getting damaged by whatever was there.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, whatever was in the background. I got to think in 3D now. Come on. Yeah, okay, so it seems like this is really neat. The wind is constantly changing direction. You can see there's a windsock at the top of the crow's nest here to help tell you like where it's actually pointing. Oh, I'm definitely about to break this. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
What in the world?
Come on.
Well.
All right, inch forward. Inch forward. Inch forward.
That happens all the time in the real world, actually, in terms of bridges and ships. There are some fun Instagram accounts out there that document such instances. It's always got to know the clearance on your mast.
What the?
Oh, I'm a fool. I thought the larger part of the sail was gonna bonk the bridge if I'd put it up too quickly, so I didn't do that.
You know, the neat thing about this, at least, is we haven't had to stop for fuel.
Yeah, I highly doubt that will be the case forever. But it's neat. Yeah, we're kind of getting some tutorials about how the wind works and everything. And then I imagine we'll be having to deal with a few new challenges soon as well. Okay, all right. I'm starting to learn how to read this a bit more.
Yeah.
Are you saying?
I think I figured some of it out as well.
Yeah, it looks.
Saying that
Oh, go ahead, but
No, please. I'm trying to just interject with a terrible pun. You keep talking about real things.
I was gonna say this. So this windsock here, it looks like when the closer you get to being like
Blue.
aligned with it, it'll raise. Yeah, it'll raise all the way to the top of the blue factor. There's not exactly fall damage, but you don't float down like you did before.
I was just gonna say that it seems like the gameplay is becoming a little bit more of a breeze.
One could say that, I suppose.
One could. One did.
Oh, I see what we're gonna do. I think if this does what I think it does, yep.
Heck.
This is cool. One of the things from the first game was most that is a loud saw.
Oh.
Most interactions were very like flip this switch or push this thing all the way. And now it seems like there's a lot more kind of you have to figure out exactly how far you need to press something or push something. Oh, wait. Is this just okay? I understand.
The animation on the building reveal and cover is also different. It's pretty neat.
Oh, is it? Those are the kinds of things that are so hard for me to like notice while I'm trying to figure out how to go fast. You know?
Yeah, it
That's
goes away
funny.
in three parts instead of all at once. It seems.
Oh, neat.
Cool.
So now our repair tool is more portable?
It seems like it, yeah. If we're getting to keep this thing, which I'm assuming we are. I hope we don't need the log. Because I'm just jumping. A leap of faith. Alright, so now we can repair this. Aha! I hope I don't ever lose this tool. I'm just going to set it over here. Definitely not. Hold on, that's not precarious enough.
What can possibly go wrong if I set it up over here?
There we go. What could happen, you know?
goodness.
You know, it's really interesting having this part of the game showing off the sawmill and all this infrastructure around logging. That's so much of our coast, of the history along the coast here. So I think a lot of folks, when they come and visit the just the general area, especially if you're over in Northern California, you'll see these redwood forests and these rivers and everything. And we won't necessarily realize that a lot of the forests in the background are second growth forests. They're not the old growth forests used to be there because people would show up, and one of the big exports for a lot of different areas is lumber. And using rivers, using their ability to carry wood down stream is something that people have used for a long time. So just seeing those little details in this industry of you have the sea level has clearly risen, but you still have this industry of extraction going on, of the sawmill going on. That is so much of the history of our area. It's always important when people come and visit the aquarium, when they think of what they're seeing inside the building as being wild and natural and beautiful, to know that it is one part of a long story that has many different baselines, and depending on when you're born and when you experience what you consider to be, quote, untouched nature, that is actually just a perception. And to be sure to go back, the many tens of thousands of years that all of the indigenous populations been living and continue to live in these areas, and what their relationship was like with the forests, with the rivers, with the ocean. And then to think that when you show up and you see something, that it's part of a long story. So I already like the storytelling in here, where there's nothing spoken, but you can already see that there's something has occurred, the ocean has risen, and then you have these signs of industry and what may have been going on in the background.
Yeah.
I don't know. Very interesting
There's
stuff.
also
eloquent
animals
with
in
it.
the background.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
just
caribou or
barely.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's
I got
if it's
distracted
on
by the
land,
animals.
whatever.
Oh, wait, no, this way.
Yeah.
This way.
Who cares
Oh, no.
about the land?
That's fine. It's just a formerly aquatic animal trying to express itself.
Formerly aquatic?
Yeah,
Yeah.
considering that life started in the ocean, as far as we know,
Oh.
and then
Yeah,
we
fair.
being land-based tetrapods, we are but ambitious fish. Ambitious Fishes. That's a good name for a rock band. Someone can use that.
Ambitious Fishes.
Hey, everybody, we're Ambitious Fishes, and we like to play on the right scale. Let's go.
I was going to go the route of, or you could just call it Ambitious Fish, spell it a little bit differently, and just, again, go with a cover band, exclusively Fish cover band.
Ambish Fish.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay, so it looks like you are very slightly ahead of me, and I keep every time I look over I'll pay attention to my sail for a while, and then it won't like change. I'm like, okay, I'll look over, and then immediately that's when the wind changes.
You know, I didn't think about this until just now, but this was kind of foreshadowed in the previous game, because when we did our little distress signal, like the water was rising a lot. So Lost Sail had the water rising at the end, and we start this one with the water very clearly high.
Oh yeah, it definitely seemed like they whether they were intending to lead into, you know, a potential second game, or if they took that ending and just ran with it. Either way, it definitely seemed fortuitous. I feel like
it's kind of fun too, just thinking about the tide rising. There's a really cool video that just got published by, if the folks out there aren't familiar, there's a really great animated educational YouTube channel called Korksgesagt. Have you guys ever watched that before?
No, I've never heard of it.
It's really cool animations talking about various scientific things, and they get to be pretty outlandish because of their animation style. Gets to talk about really interesting questions or really visualize things. And one of the recent videos that they had is what would happen if the moon fell out of orbit and was going to crash into the Earth. And they mentioned that it's pretty much impossible for that to happen, but if you could use magic. And one of the things about the tides is that they're basically a global standing wave that's being caused by the moon pulling on the ocean, the moon's gravity pulling on the ocean, and the sun's gravity also pulling on the ocean. And when the sun and moon are pulling in the same direction, you get very high tides. And when you're at right angles to that pole, you get the low tides. And because the moon orbits the planet every 27, 28 days, and the Earth rotates on itself once a day, by definition, we're spinning faster through that wave than the wave is moving, which is why the tide goes in and out twice a day in most places. Because there's a wave, there's just more ocean and less ocean, and our whole Earth spins into and out of that wave, if that makes sense, as you're moving. So that's why the tide goes up and it goes down, because the Earth is rotating through the standing wave that's caused by the gravity of the sun and the moon pulling on itself. So when you have the sun and the moon pulling in the same direction, that's called a spring tide. And when you have them pulling in opposing directions, you have what's known as a neap tide, N-E-A-P. And then when the Earth is closest to the sun and the moon is closest to the Earth, and the sun and the moon are pulling in the same direction, like happens in our area in January and December, then you end up getting the king tides, which are those extremely high tides that are going to be like the common high tides of the future. But yeah, so just thinking about the tide as something that doesn't go in and out. It is there, and we spin in and out of it. It's much like a sunset. The sun doesn't rise and it doesn't set, but we experience it because of the rotation of the Earth. Anyway, just thought I'd throw that one out for a spin. Little tidal interpretation there.
Yeah, very fitting. Okay. I had caught up to Keys. I had caught up and passed him, and then I didn't get the jumping tutorial like fast enough.
I feel like there's a lot more exploring in this game so far.
Yeah.
Too.
We went opposite directions, and I'm hoping I went the right one.
I'm so confused.
Can I put something on the button?
Oh no! Put the thing up. No,
okay, so this just doesn't work yet. All right. I think
Oh.
What the heck? You have conveyor belts and stuff?
Yeah, my side's pretty fun.
Yeah, but I'm moving mine. I have no idea if this means I'm ahead or not, because I didn't go into the room you went into at all.
Well, you're going to the right, and I know from the little gaming that I've experienced
Yeah.
that is forward progress.
Exactly. That's what I'm banking on.
Sand banking.
Well, you see, what I have going for me right now is I have 3 sets of fuel.
And I'm going to hope that that won't matter. It definitely will, though. Okay, I think I need to go up to where you were now. Oh. Oh. I have a feeling I know what this is going to do now. Yep. Okay. Okay.
Ah, heck.
So run us through your thought process right now with this little puzzle, and you're trying to speedrun
Yeah,
it for
so
the first time.
it looks like the switch at the top changes the direction of the train here. And I hooked onto that car on the right. I'm not entirely sure yet I'm not sure what is blocking me from... Oh, I went too far. Oh, I went too far. Oh no. Well, we're just gonna see what's over on the left here now.
Let's go, left scrollers.
Yeah, I meant to go up to the ladder to the section that Keys explored. But yeah, there's something blocking my ability to like interact with the switch on that car on the right. I'm not entirely sure yet what is going to unlock that, but
See, I'm just confused as a speedrunner because we're going left.
yeah. Okay, cool.
So this is... I understand nothing right now.
So I have no spare fuel. I like just completely ran out too, I think. So this is gonna be a moment,
spare.
Keys. Is it gonna matter or not? We're gonna find out quite quickly. May or may not.
I can only hope that it does.
Yeah. Oh, we just unlocked so much more of the inside, I think. Watching some things happen. For the time being, it appears I took a slight lead.
I need you to need way more fuel.
I know, this is gonna be scary. We'll see. I mean, even if it doesn't save you time right now, it could save you time in the long run to...
Well, that's fine. I ignored my fuel. It's up there anyway.
Well,
Oops.
all right. Well, then it probably won't.
Well, bummer.
What does this do? Oh,
What
okay.
does this button do?
Yeah.
Oh, look. If
Lot of
I
that.
just brought more fuel, because there's a fuel thing here.
Yeah, there is. That's why I was saying you
Darn
might have...
it. I had 2 things of fuel I could have taken with me. I'm a fool.
A full of fuel.
Yeah.
Fuel full.
Can I go down here? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think I see what I need to do. I need to flip this switch so that way this works like this. Nope. Turns out a vacuum in the ocean is not going to open or is not going to clear everything out.
Nope.
What in the world?
Okay. So this can let me get out if I want to get out of the ship. All right. Good to know. But I don't want to at the moment.
Right now, based on the lack of life growing on the posts and everything,
hold up.
I would say that I need to recant saying that this is the ocean rising, and I would imagine this is flooded fresh water, just based on the lack of fouling.
I'm a moving, Hobbs. I'm a moving.
What? How?
Yes, I don't know. Actually.
What
He's
happened?
paddling.
I pulled a bunch
He's
of levers
paddling.
and started jumping.
He's walking on the water like a sea robin or a water like a sea robin on the seafloor or a
What
water
happened?
strider on the surface.
What did I not do?
I don't know. All I did was move some stuff.
You have your paddle
Oh,
deployed as well,
I didn't
Hob.
see this. That might be it. I didn't see that button. No.
Let's go.
I had the lead for a brief glimmering
I
instant.
can't believe something fuel related led to a lead change again.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Okay. But I do have a plan here, because one thing they told us was that your ship, like when your engine runs hot for too long, it can kind of mess things up, but you can cool it down with the hose.
You know, that heating and cooling of the water is actually something pretty interesting that goes on IRL. There's a lot of different, so I do a lot of underwater photography on the side, and often the lights that we have ports that allow water to flow over the hot parts of the light to cool it down. And you actually need to be careful, because a lot of underwater photo lights, if you leave them on, they can catch fire out of the water because they get so overheated. They need that water to cool them.
Oh, wow.
And Microsoft and a few other companies, a lot of companies I think are out there trying to figure out how to lower the energy requirements of their data servers. And one of the solutions is to have them be underwater, because a lot of the energy associated with a lot of data servers has to do with cooling them down. Mm-hmm. And so water is very, very good at conducting heat away, or conducting heat rather, which is why if you grab something with a wet hand, you usually burn yourself faster than if you're grabbing it with a dry cloth, or if you have a wet dish rag versus a dry one. And so that's one way that companies are trying to lower their carbon footprint is with moving things that need to be cooled to things being in water.
Hobbs, I got so
I
confused.
ran out of
and
fuel.
now...
Yeah. I got it going again now, though.
What do? I got lost.
Oh no, you're out of fuel too. Ooh, you gotta find some fuel.
Why didn't I grab the fuel from before?
He.
There's fuel underwater?
He doesn't know.
Oh no. You're right, I don't.
He doesn't know.
There's a lot of fuel underwater in Potentia, because a lot of our hydrocarbon reserves are leftover ocean plankton that have been buried. So I guess if you wait a few million years, you might get some hydrocarbons out of it.
Yeah, Keys, just wait a few million years. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no big deal. No big deal, yeah. There we go.
Huh. This is like a radar thing, I think. Or I guess it'd be sonar, probably.
If in the ocean, yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing over there, Emily?
Oh, good. I was just reading Susan's comment in chat, because you were talking about, cooling down.
Yeah.
She said, how vultures cool down? You don't want to know how they cool down. It would not be good for your camera.
Oh, no.
So my question to you, Pat, is do you know how vultures cool themselves down?
I am unaware. Sorry, just very quickly to address the questions there. I believe that the heating that would be caused by, and it's many different data centers. I happen to call that out by name because I was helping with an underwater ROV contest many years ago that some folks from Microsoft were mentioning about moving servers into the ocean up in Washington. But there's a lot of different groups that are doing it. It's not going to it's not going to affect the overall thermal energy. The thermal load of the ocean is not going to be main. That has much more to do with the ocean atmosphere interchange. But
I have to imagine that's a drop in the bucket, basically. Yeah, quite literally.
Yeah, compared to what we're doing, the other. Anyway, but Emily, moving on to something else. I do not know how it is that vultures cool themselves down.
To cool themselves down, vultures will relieve themselves.
I had to guess it must have been that, because if it wasn't gonna be,
it was either gonna be one of two things. It was coming out one way or the other.
Yeah.
So they the bath on their legs. It's called muting, which I don't know, makes it sound cuter than it is. But yeah, they do that to cool.
Oh.
But it also it actually helps protect them, because vultures are going after dead stuff. Mm-hmm. So they have extremely, extremely acidic stomach acid. Of course, that also translates to the uric acid. When they're going into the bathroom, they have extremely, extremely acidic excrement. So when they go to the bathroom on their legs, it actually helps to kill off any like bacteria or gross stuff that might be like on their legs from standing in something dead while they're eating. So yeah.
Jeez.
You know, I'm usually down for people making their own like homemade kombuchas and breads and stuff, but I feel like making your own foot purell in your intestine, I draw the line there. I won't be pursuing that.
Do you want more bird facts? I'm on now that we're talking about birds, you know I'm not going to stop.
By all means. All I was going to say is things have gone south for my sale, and my repair keys, my repair tool is gone. It ran out.
Did
I
it
don't know what
fall off?
happened. No, it just like, it ran out, I guess. I think they can maybe run out in this one.
And
Wait, mine's gone too. I was just holding it. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
No.
speaking of repair tools, yes, when I mentioned putting data centers underwater, I don't mean actually putting just servers hanging out in the salt
Just
water.
hanging
That would
out,
not work
yeah.
out very well. No, using ocean water to cool and heat, or to cool down the servers with putting them in the ocean. Anyway, a lot of people had a lot to say about that. Unless they had more to say about that than the vulture story. So I guess we know where your audience is at.
But yeah, hit us up with another bird fact.
Bird facts. So you guys in the game, you keep on going up to the top of your little crow's nest area by your sails. But I'm curious, do any of you know why it is called a crow's nest?
I can only guess that crows used to actually make nests occasionally in like old ships or something, but I don't know.
That's a good guess. You would think it'd be something like that. So basically, there are two thoughts behind why it's called a
the
crow's
tide is
nest.
dropping.
Like, I see that.
Yeah.
So like one of the reasons why people think it's called a crow's nest is just because it looks like a crow's nest. You know, like up tall, high in a tree. That's where the birds are. That's where they're making their nests. But the other one is because oh no! Oh, like, pause on crow nest talk.
Yeah. Now we were. That wasn't time, was it? Because we were told that there is a massive storm that beaches your vehicle, a dam breaks, and then a tidal wave wrecks your entire ship.
Well,
I think that might have just happened.
I
Looks
think
like-
all of that literally just happened.
Yeah.
That just happened.
I think that was time. That
Wow.
was incredible, and I want to just keep playing more, but we can't. We gotta let y'all find out for yourself on March 1st. Keys, you're like right by it too. I think like this is close.
Okay, no, we have to.
Oh, when did this move again? No. I was like, why am I not moving? My fuel.
Yeah, I think it kind of the difference maker in the first race was me running out of fuel for that one spot and not like spending more time getting it. And the difference maker in this one was you spending time getting fuel in that one spot and me not doing that.
I just wanted fuel, man.
Man, that was a cool sequence.
You wanted-
I'm sorry that it
wanted
interrupted
power.
bird facts.
No,
but-
I see, but
No,
now I
that
don't want
was
to
wonderful.
continue with the bird facts
Because
because
then
I
it's
want to
gonna happen to
see
Keys.
everything that happens to
Yeah.
Keys now. Now that we know that it's coming.
Oh, I see what's happening. I keep hitting interact when I'm doing that, so I keep pulling the thing back.
Oh, okay. This is
Yeah, that explains why I wasn't moving.
I like the way that like they easily could have made this sequel just basically be you take the vehicle we were doing in the first game.
Oh dear. Oh dear. I see it now. Oh dear.
There it is. It's
Oh,
oh
dear.
no.
But yeah, they easily could have made this sequel be like you take the vehicle you're using in the first game and you basically just like make it the same, but then somehow go underwater, right? And this one's been very different so far, while still keeping the same, kind of core concept of the gameplay. It's been really neat.
Wow.
I'll get
apologize for the
there
cough,
one
everybody.
day.
I think you're really close, like legitimately.
Coming up on it.
Yeah.
Don't worry, chat. I will return to Crow Talk.
Yeah, we'll wrap up. We'll wrap up with Crow Talk.
We'll wrap up with Crow Talk.
I'm still curious.
Yeah,
about the
otherwise-
crow's nest.
Let's see if I can say it very, very quickly. I don't know.
Go
No,
for
I
it.
think
no,
it's about to
it's
happen.
not gonna happen. No,
No,
It's about to
okay,
happen one more
okay.
time.
about to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna wait.
Watch this, everybody.
Am I out of fuel when I'm this close?
And as somebody said in the chat, I pity the fuel.
Wait, no, you have some down there.
Uh-oh.
You had some down there.
Did I?
Yeah. To the
Am I
right, to the
blind?
right.
Oh,
You got a
never
sack
saw
of
that.
flour or something.
oh, that's yes, excellent. That's sure gonna
Yep.
help me.
It's gonna be great.
No, you're in the sourdough
Time to
phase
bake a
of your own pandemic.
It's fuel for the body, right? So might as well.
I was that close. Are you kidding me?
I think we'll call that time for keys also, or maybe we'll call it
Yeah.
time when the tidal wave hits.
Call
I
it
don't-
time when the screen goes black.
Yeah. I think
I
that'll
don't
be
like
good.
it. I felt safe in here. I no
Row,
longer
row,
feel
row
safe.
your boat gently on the berm.
Feel like it still gets like get me out of here.
I know. I jumped off. Okay, so keys. The worst part. Yeah, I wasn't even in the boat when the tidal wave hit.
No.
Oh.
Well, you know,
You're gonna be more
Oh.
safe than I was. I jumped out.
Yeah, look, it's all good. I'm right here.
Time for keys.
All
I guess.
right, time. Well,
Well, that was
we're dead.
that was very cool. Before we wrap up, I gotta know, why do they
Okay.
call it a crow's nest?
This has been built up so much. Crow Talk
This
2022.
better be good, Emily.
No, so it dates back from Viking practices when they used to bring a crow or a raven or some kind of corvid sailing with them, and then if it got like too foggy out, if they were they were lost, they couldn't see the shore, they would release the crow from the crow's nest and then plot the course following the crow, because the term, like, as the crow flies, it's gonna follow the fastest line back. So they called it a crow's nest for that reason. That's also where you
That's
get as the
cool.
crow flies too.
Wow. Yeah, I had no idea those two things were connected.
Crow facts.
Yeah. Crow facts.
Hashtag Crowfax.
Now
I hope it was worth it, everyone.
we'll have to play Dark Souls 3 again somehow on the show, even though we've done it twice now, so we can get Susan back, because there's some corvids in that. There's some corvid type people in that one, but in any case, I think that's gonna do it for us. I want to remind everybody that once again you can use !donate, and I don't know if there was what the command was for the Discord, but it was discord.gg/Monterey Bay Aquarium, I believe, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Nailed it.
Yeah, so you could do that if you want to support the Monterey Bay Aquarium, or you just want to find a really new and cool spot to hang out with lots of people who are interested in marine life and marine biology and all that. I want to remind everybody that you can check out both Far Lone Sails and Far Changing Tides on a bunch of different platforms. Far Lone Sails on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch as well. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, Steam, Good Old Games, in the Humble Store, App Store, and Google Store as well. So you can check it out there, or you can check out Far Changing Tides by wishlisting it on Steam or buying it on March 1st. Where it'll be coming out for Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, PlayStation 4 and 5, Nintendo Switch, Steam, the Epic Store, Epic Game Store, and Microsoft Store. So check that out. Thanks again to Frontier Foundry for sponsoring this bonus episode of the first step here. I almost forgot the name of our show. I was just so excited by the tidal wave and all that. And yeah, check this game out. It was very cool. Like I've very much enjoyed this little race through it.
I'm excited to play the full game when it comes out, and maybe, just maybe, there'll be a future TFS episode that features this when it's fully released.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I think we both had a lot of fun with it. So
yeah, definitely.
thanks again to Underwater Pat and M Leet. I'm gonna betray your Discord names now.
Yeah, that's us.
Thanks for joining us. It's been a blast, and I'm glad. I know that there wasn't a ton of aquatic life this time, but I think that we got a lot of good segues.
I think
there
further on in the game there's supposed to be.
Ooh,
so
yeah.
we'll have to come back. We'll have to play it again.
Oh, maybe. Oh, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, and then we'll have to revisit it when we get the DLC for it, you know, and all that stuff starts happening. So
no DLC necessarily promised for this game. I'm just gonna give
side effects may include too much good times. Yeah, no, that was wonderful. Thank you so much again for having us. Big shout out to the GDQ community. You've been so supportive of the aquarium over these years. We really enjoy getting to come and hang out with all of y'all. Hope the puns were just enough. You all are so great, and we really appreciate again you all for what you're doing. I don't know if we hit triple digis. I'm pretty sure we did, but even if we didn't, yeah, shout out to all you. Thanks for being there.
That's still a new record in its own right. Triple digits without a single fish to be found
That's
as
right.
inspiration.
True.
So
Yeah.
We did
Never
good.
underestimate the power.
Yeah, we shoehorned crabbed our way in there. So.
All right. Well, I think that means we better get out of here at this point. So thanks again for watching. We're still going to be back on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, the normal TFS time, with an improv race of a game that you'll have to tune in to find out. And until then, you can catch each of us on our own channels. I am twitch.tv/JHobz296. He is twitch.tv/Keizaron, Keizaron. And yeah, we will see you all next time. Tune in to more GDQ Hotfix tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. Bye.
No, you're supposed to say